Scotland's a wild and lovely place.
But there's a change we must embrace.
Scotland's water's world class.
No doubt.
So, take a refillable bottle.
When you go out.
It's your water, your life.
Top up from the tap with Scottish Water.
Fresh, cool, clear.
And only available right here.
A very good morning to you. It's day 4 here at the Tollcross International Swimming Centre for the Scottish National Age Group Championships. Session 10, second last day. So I hope we're all bearing up and enjoying the coverage. I'm Duncan McKinnell, and this morning I'm joined in the commentary box by John Munsey. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Duncan. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be another busy, packed programme today. Had once again, some fantastically tight finals, also some dominant displays last night. A few surprises as well, but here's what is lined up for you this morning. So we start off with girls 200 individual medley, follow that with boys 200 freestyle, 100 butterfly for both girls and boys. Our sprints are 50 backstroke this morning, and then we go to longer events, 400 individual medley for the boys, 800 freestyle for the girls, and we finish off with boys freestyle relays. So pretty packed program, John.
Yeah, very much so, Duncan, and as you say, we've had some exciting swims all the way through the meet. Remember, this is the first time we've been here at Snags for 3 years, so it's great to see so many swimmers back in the pool, enjoying themselves and having great fun.
And we'll see some of the athletes who have been really successful going again this morning. I'm thinking of the likes of Andrew Bertoli, who's been really quite dominant in the 17-18 age group. He'll be swimming a 200 freestyle this morning. And then you've got the likes of, in the girls, Catherine Bailey, who's having a superb week. She'll go in the penultimate heat of the 100 butterfly, won the 200 fly last night, and then in the following heat will be Drew Mackenzie, and I think that's going to be an interesting contest tonight. Drew probably stronger in the shorter distances than Kathleen, but Kathleen's been on fire, hasn't she? As have the whole Perth team. Yeah,
it's been great to see. Catherine's won 4 golds already, as has Andrew Bertilli, who you've already mentioned, and of course Evan Davidson from the Perth team as well. He's won 5 championship medals already, 5 golds. So yeah, the Perth team have been going really well, and as I say, some exciting swims.
And then in the boys 100 butterfly, I guess we'll be having a look at Stefan Kravitz, tied the Scottish junior record in the 50 fly, and let's see what he can do in the 100. And then the girls 50 backstroke. We've got Katie Shanahan in the water, of course, those British champion now in 200 backstroke, and achieved a Commonwealth Games nomination time. So 50 is not one she does too often, I don't think. A more longer distance event, but be good to see what sort of form she can produce on a sprint backstroke.
Yeah, it's great to see Katie here this week. So far she's just been swimming the relays in the very powerful City of Glasgow team. Clearly off the back of a very tough competition down in Sheffield last week. But yeah, I think this is the first time we'll see her in an individual event. Clearly looking to do some speed work on a backstroke.
400 medley boys. Andrew Bertoli will be back again in that one, and Robert Burgess, who was really good in the 200 backstroke last night, so it'll be interesting to see what he produces, the City of Glasgow swimmer. And then the 800 freestyle, which will be their medals today, medals in the 800 free and in the relays. Catherine Bailey back once again, perhaps the hot favourite for the 17-18 age groups. We've got Tegan Black, the winner of the 1500 in the 15 age group, going in the penultimate heat of that, and the 16-year-olds as well. Stella McCarty, perhaps the favourite there, but we're ready to go now. That's the lineup for your first heat of 10 in the 200 medley.
Yeah, and here we go. Lane 0, Katie Lowe from Glenrothes. Lane 1, Zara Innes from Carnegie. Lane 2, Alexandra Miller from Fauldhouse. Lane 3, Thea Glenn from City of Glasgow. Lane 4, Rebecca Cole, South Lanarkshire. Lane 5, Safrina Machin from City of Glasgow. Lane 6, Abby Mavrikis from Portsmouth. Lane 7, Isla Garden from Geary. Lane 8, Jessica Smith from Aberdeen Dolphins. And lane 9, Simone Finlayson, Dundee City Aquatics.
What a good start there, lane 5.
Yeah, Safrina Machin, the City of Glasgow swimmer. Entry times here range between 2:39.9 to 2:41.8. So very close on paper and very close up that first 50. It is Safrina in lane 5 leading the way. Second place in lane 6, Abby. Portsmouth swimmer up here.
So do you think a blistering fly there, do you think she can sustain that through the other strokes? Well, I guess we'll wait and see.
I think she probably will. I would expect to see Rebecca Cole come back on the breaststroke leg, but at the minute going down this second leg, Safrina's looking very strong. Again, representing City of Glasgow, who are having such a fantastic week this week.
So lane 7 is Isla Gardner-Geary and Abby Mavrakakis, as you said, from Portsmouth. Great to have Scots coming up from England, mainly Scots. There's a few non-Scots come up as well, but it's lovely to have you all here. And if you are watching this from south of the border, it's great to have you with us.
So Safrina turned with about a 2.5 second lead, but you can already see on the breaststroke leg swimmers in lanes 6 and 7, Abby in 6, Isla in 7, starting to close her down. Isla Garden, the Geary swimmer. Again, Geary having a pretty good meet this week, also coming through in lane 2 from Fauldhouse, Alexandra Miller. But it's still Safrina leading the way.
Yes.
As we thought in lane 4, Rebecca Cole starting to come through strongly on the breaststroke leg, and she may even lead as we come to this last turn.
Yeah, you called that well, John, because she was a long way back when you called it, but she's right in there now. And the two, you can see they're concentrating, I think, on Safrina there, but you can see just ahead of her at the final turn, Rebecca Cole now 2:02.94.
Yeah, and everything to play for. In third place in lane 2, Alexandra Miller, and it's the 2 middle lanes, but back she comes, Safrina Machin, City of Glasgow, and she's overturned that lead again and looking very strong coming down this last 50. And probably coming through for second will be Alexandra Miller in lane 2. Rebecca Cole battling out for third with Thea Glenn in lane 3. It's been a very strong swim from Safrina Machin, certainly very strong in 3 of the 4 disciples and very promising for the future. She's going to set this first heat, 2:40.34, just outside her entry time. Second place was Alexandra Miller in Fauldhouse, and coming through into third place was Thea Glenn in lane 3, representing City of Glasgow.
So normally you expect to see it as the breaststroke goes on to dominate there. This time it was the fly swimmer, so it was really that big lead that she got in that first 50 that did it for Safrina, gave her the margin that she could then come back in the latter stages, because Rebecca didn't have that much of a lead after the breaststroke. So good stuff for Get Us Going. Here's the lineup for heat number 2. Ashley Drake of Warrender in 0, Beth Hunter ran 96 in 1, Lexi McCappin of first in 2, Gemma Brown of Carnegie in 3, Ava Kirkham of first in 4, Bethany Irvin of Lerwick in 5, Natalie Cooper of Warrender in 6, Heather Stewart of North Ayrshire in 7, Emma Mcgavin of South Lanarkshire in 8, Bronwyn Payne of Best in lane 9. Over at the top of your screen, Ashley Drake of Warrender starting strongly in lane 0. Then there's the blue cap in lane 2, Lexi McCappin, Gemma Brown next to her, Carnegie. Those are the top 3 at the first turn. Ashley leads the way just by 500ths, 32.24.
Certainly the far side of the pool down that first 50 as they turn onto the backstroke. Very little separating. Ashley in 0, Lexine in 2, Gemma in 3.
Does look like Gemma Brown, the Carnegie swimmer, is, well, I was going to say she's the one that's just edging past, but I'm not sure she is. Up there still with Lexine McCappin of first, and still right in the mix, Ashley Drake in lane 0. Just ahead of lane 8, down at the bottom of your screen, Emma Mcgavin of South Lanarkshire, so she's right in the hunt as well. In fact, she's leading, 1:12.82.
0.2 second ahead of Gemma in lane 3, but very close, just about 0.2 seconds separating the top 3, but they're right across the pool.
Yep, top 4 in fact, really. It's, I was gunning for lane 0 victories last night. We haven't had a shot here, but it looks like in the breaststrokes, Lexi McCappin maybe is the one who's just making a bit of a move here. The first swimmer, member of the Scottish Youth Academy, and Is she going to have the lead at the 150? Still in lane 8. South Lanarkshire's Emma Mcgavin is very much a contender.
So incredibly tight coming to this last turn.
2:00:37, and they were behind the first heat in splits up until the breaststroke, but they're now 2.5 seconds ahead. So a really good quality breaststroking from Emma and from Lexine. Looks like it's between the two of them, despite a late push from Ava Kirkham in lane 4. Let's see who's going to bring this one home, though. Is it going to be lane 2? Is it going to be lane 8?
Like Emma in lane 8, I think. Very close. Emma's just going to get it.
Yep, you called that right. 2:37.04. Emma Mcgavin gets the touch. So she comes in with improvement on her entry time of over 2 seconds. Nice swim as well from second place there, Lexine McCappin, and coming through for third place, Ava Kirkham of first, 2:40.06. Confirmation of the official results. So a good competitive couple of opening heats. Let's keep this going.
Yeah, swimmers here for heat number 3. Lane 0, Lauren Anderson from Fauldhouse. Lane 1, May Rogers from Warren de Baths. Lane 2, Natalie Marshall from West Lothian. Lane 3, Ellen McPhee from Fauldhouse. Lane 4, Erin Hughes from North Lanarkshire. Lane 5, Madison Gallagher from First. Lane 6, Jessica Beaton, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 7, Victoria Niven, City of Glasgow. Lane 8, Hannah Stall from Cooper. And lane 9, Alicia Goodbrand from Eithen. The first 50, possibly just in lane 6. Jessica Beaton, Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer, white cap, leading the way. Playing well in lane 5. Madison Gallagher from First. On the far side, lane 1, Maya Rogers.
Yeah, quite close there. 5 swimmers within a second at the end of the butterfly, led by Jessica, 32.02.
Turning onto the backstroke, and it's down under this side. Alicia Goodbrand, lane 9, going well. And across the far side, your lane 0, Lauren Anderson from Fauldhouse. Also going well in 2, Natalie Marshall, and in 6, Jessica Beaton. So everything to play for. Probably just at the minute on the far side of the pool, I think, has it? Maybe just Lauren in 0 from Natalie in 2.
Yeah, Melissa continuing to go well, but she's maybe in the trio vying for third place now as Lauren and Natalie, then just 200ths apart, 1:12.20 and 1:12.22.
Third place this side of the pool for Alicia as it's in onto the breaststroke, and as so often in the individual medley, it's the breaststroke that really sorts it out. It's the slowest of the 4 legs, therefore the differentials are bigger in the event, so we quite often see strong breaststroke swimmers are strong IM swimmers. They're still very close, still lane 0, Lauren Anderson, lane 2, Natalie Marshall, and this side of the pool, lane 9, Alicia Goodbrand.
Yeah, May Rogers making a bit of a move in lane 1 with that Warrender red cap with the big white W on it. She has very much got herself into contention in the breaststroke. In fact, she's turning first, is she? Yes, she is.
Yeah, 2:00.19, so about half a second faster than the previous heat. So lane 1, Maya Rogers, ahead of lane 9, Alicia Goodbrand. But coming back in lane 2 is Natalie Marshall from West Lothian. Natalie looking very strong down this last leg, and she's gone into the lead now. Still fighting hard on this side of the pool, Alicia Goodbrand. Going well in lane 1, starting to come back in lane 3, Ellen McPhee, but coming under the flags, I think it's still Natalie Marshall, and she's going to take this third heat. It's going to be very close for second, maybe Maya Rogers, but Natalie Marshall takes it, 2:36.64, so the fastest time of the morning so far for Natalie. Second place was lane 1, Maya Rogers, and third place was lane 3, Ellen McPhee.
Yes, Natalie did her entry time 2:37.79 at the Commonwealth Pool recently at these district age groups, so taking a bit more than a second off that time 3 weeks later. Good freestyler. She had good freestyle events yesterday, and that was really that freestyle that did it for her down that last 50 from May Rogers. On to heat 4, Erica Watt of Heart of Midlothian in 0. Ashley Merson of West Lothian in lane 1. 2 is Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow. Her teammate Louise Connell goes in 3. From Itham, we have Ella Chalmers in 4. Katie Coventry of Tynemouth in 5. Taylor Smith of St Thomas in 6. Lauren Taylor of Scotia in 7. Martha Reeves, Dundee City Aquatics in 8. And Perry Scobby of Stirling Swim in lane 9. Times here 2:36s and 2:37s. Cracking start in lane 4 from Itham's Ella Chalmers. She's really pushing it out here.
She certainly is, and she's already a body length up on the rest of the field coming down this first 50. She's certainly going to turn first. It's going to be very close for second, but it's definitely Itham's Ella Chalmers.
So 31.89, so just a little bit reminiscent at the moment from what we saw in the very first heat from Safrina Machin with that really blistering fly. Let's see whether Ella can sustain it. She is being swallowed up a bit now in the backstroke. There's a line of swimmers now across the pool, all contending here.
Lane 8, Martha Reeves, Dundee City Aquatic swimmer coming through strongly. Also Ashley Merson from West Lothian in 1, and it's between these two, I think, coming under the flags at the end of the first 100.
So Martha Reeves in the 17-18 age group, and it's Ashley Merson also in that age group who leads at the halfway point, 1:12.80. Leads by a bit over a second, in fact, and a very nice backstroke leg from Ashley. So she can keep that going in the breaststroke. So far she can.
Yeah, second place still Martha Reeves, Dundee City Aquatics pink hat this side, lane 8, but very close for third now. The middle lane starting to come through. Ella Chalmers in 4, Katie Coventry in 5, Taylor Smith in 6.
Yeah, so Ella Chalmers, who had that strong fly, is also pretty strong on breaststroke. Beside her, Katie Coventry, she is a breaststroke specialist, Tynemouth girl. And I think, is it going to be Katie just edging it at the 150? Not much in it, but it is by 3/10, 1:59.17. So it's our first 150 split under 2 minutes. Let's see if she can hold it together in the freestyle. I think she's going to come under quite a lot of pressure.
Back to Ella Chalmers in lane 4 again. The Itham swimmer led at the start, and it looks like she's going to finish the stronger.
Yeah, this is nice freestyle from Ella. Good little program up in Itham in the north part of Aberdeenshire, and really strong there. Look at that, in the end, dominant win for Ella, 2:35.54. Takes a second of her entry time. Katie Coventry takes second, just ahead of Caris Mooney. That was a nice swim from Ella, topped and tail with the fly and the freestyle.
Yeah, and the fastest time of the morning so far, about a second faster than the previous heat for Ella.
This is shaping up very nicely this morning, enjoying these 200 medley races. First 200 medley we've seen this week.
Yeah, we've not seen any individual medley for the boys yet, so it'll be the first IM for them later this morning. We move on to heat 5. Swimmers up there. Lane 0, Libby Doubleday, City of Glasgow. Lane 1, Isla MacDonald, Highland. Lane 2, Helen Stoddard, East Lothian. Lane 3, Freya Masson from Shetland. Lane 4, India Marshall, East Lothian. Lane 5, Casey Drummond from Incas. Lane 6, Katie Barron, Midlothian. Lane 7, Sophie Maguire, Guildford City. Lane 8, Amy Bell, Midlothian. And Lane 9, Hannah Edmiston from City of Glasgow. And a blistering start in lane 2 from Helen Stoddard at East Lothian. She's certainly leading at the minute. Going well on this side of the pool, Hannah Edmiston, City of Glasgow in lane 9. Also going well in lane 1, Isla MacDonald from Highland.
No surprise to see Helen going off 50 fly is a very strong event for her. She was B finalist in the British Championships in the 50 fly, and we saw her winning the sprint freestyle yesterday as well, so expect maybe a top and tail from her as well.
In 1, Isla MacDonald, the Highland swimmer, going well. This side of the pool we've got Sophie Maguire up from Guildford City down in the south. Still on the on this side of the pool, Hannah Edmiston, City of Glasgow as well, but it looks like it is the Guildford City Sophie Maguire, just 15 Sophie. It looks like she's coming through, but it's going to be very close. Also coming through Katie Barron, Midlothian in lane 6. and Casey Drummond in 5 from Incas. Everything to play for with 100 to go. And in top of the pool, it was actually Libby Doubleday that touched first, 1:13.82 for Libby.
Yep, so she's up by a couple of tenths. Because a reminder that we split the swimmers into their respective age groups, 15, 16, and then a joint 17, 18 age group. If you want to see where swimmers are in their relative age groups, if you go to Meet Mobile, it'll give you all the information, and also Swim Scotland, www.swimscotland.co.uk. That will give you all the information you need as well. Nice shot of the Incas swimmer Casey Drummond there, pacing away.
She's certainly leading as we come down to this last turn. Casey Drummond in first place, Freya Maston in Shetland coming through in lane 3 in second, 1:58.35, so faster than the previous heat, as you'd expect as you go through the cyclical sheets this morning. And Casey Drummond looks between her in lane 5 and Freya Maston in lane 3 for first and second. Coming through in lane 7, Sophie Maguire from Guildford City, and in lane 6, Katie Barron from Midlothian. But it does look like it's going to be the Incas swimmer Casey Drummond.
Yeah, this is an impressive swim from Casey. 2:35 entry time. Going to be inside that, I think, or there or thereabouts. In fact, 2:35.93, so pretty much on it.
Second place, lane 0, Libby Doubleday. Third place, lane 6 for Katie Barron. 2:37.77 for Katie, 2:37.59 for Libby. A very impressive heat swim there from Incas Casey Drummond.
Yeah, Incas goes just north of the 4th in Mcgavin, and Fife South Shore, coached by Rory Mckinnon. So heat number 6, you saw the lineup there on the board. It's Natalie Bruce of Broch, Molly Cannon Inverclyde in 1. 2 is Poppy MacDonald, Western Bartonshire. 3 is Zoe Crawford of First, Cassie Wiper of City of Glasgow in 4, Ellen Ross of Highland in 5, Talia Blackley of City of Glasgow in 6, Summer Innes of Fauldhouse in 7, Millie MacArthur of South Lanarkshire in 8, Maya Cheshire of Elgin in lane 9.
Cassie Wiper, lane 4, City of Glasgow. Eleanor Ross, lane 5, Highland, in your picture there. But it's actually lane 3 leading the way. Zoe Crawford, 32.38 for the first 50.
So half a second up on Molly Cannon. Talia Blackley in 3rd at that first turn. Coming up now in lane 6 is Talia Blackley, 15-year-old from City of Glasgow, still behind the first swimmer Zoe Crawford. Too many blue caps in the pool, thinking that was another City of Glasgow swimmer, but no, of course not, it's first.
The blue cap in lane 5 for Highland coming through as well, but it's Zoe touches first, 1:09.86 for her. Second place, lane 6 for Talia Blackley. Third place, lane 1 for Molly Cannon.
So let's see if there's a breaststroker that's going to move through. At the moment, it's looking pretty good for Zoe. In fact, she might be the breaststroker of the group because she's opening up her gap very nicely. You can see as they go past the red markers halfway down the pool that she's got a clear lead here. Molly Cannon making a move in the white cap in lane 1, up near the top of your screen. And a battle going on in the centre lanes, Cassie Wiper and Eleanor Ross. Eleanor perhaps the more dominant of those two.
She's definitely the breaststroker. I think you were talking about Duncan. She's made the move on this 50 up to second place, but it's still Zoe Crawford with a lead of about 1.5 seconds with 50 metres to go.
Yeah, it's hard to see her giving that up. Nice close-up action shot of her freestyle, showing nice technique there, nice smooth action. Legs starting to go. And it's really about who's going to get second here. Good contest between Molly Cannon in lane 1 and lane 5, Eleanor Ross, the Highlander, and I think it's Eleanor. Well, is it? No,
yeah,
very tight indeed, but no doubt about the winner, Zoe Crawford. It is Eleanor, so I should have trusted my instincts there. She took second by half a second from Molly Cannon, 2:33.88 for Zoe.
Well, 2 seconds faster than the previous heat, so As one would expect as we go through the heats, the time's getting a little bit quicker.
And she was inside her entry time as well, so nice job, Zoe.
15-year-old, so we'll see her back here tonight, I think, for a final. Moving on quickly to heat 7, lane 0, Katie Rose, Warren de Bass, lane 1, Kerry Gillespie, Aberdeen Performance, lane 2, Ciara Davidson, City of Glasgow, lane 3, Ailey Armstrong, East Lothian, lane 4, Gabrielle Lessing from Ren 96, lane 5, Charlotte Hardy, South Ayrshire, lane 6, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire, lane 7, Kirsty Neal, Bishop Stortford, lane 8, Holly Lumsden, Heart of Midlothian, and lane 9, Ariana Stokes from Tynemouth.
So a couple of good three good breaststrokers in this one that I can spot. In fact, maybe 4. Ciara Davidson, Ailey Armstrong, Charlotte Hardy, Kirsty Neal, all very strong on breaststroke. So we'll see that later on. But the early leader is Gabriella Lessing, Ren 96, goes through in 31.58, up by 3/10.
Ariana Stokes this side of the pool in lane 9, 3, Ailey Armstrong, 2, Ciara Davidson as they turn onto the back. Going well in lane 4, Gabrielle Lessing still. Lane 3, Ciara Davidson, City of Glasgow, but still down this side of the pool in lane 9, the Tynemouth swimmer, Ariana Stokes. Looks like she may well be leading the way. We'll certainly see as they start to come under the flags. Very strong on the backstroke, coming through in lane 6, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire, and it's just Kirsty, I think, that's going to turn at this halfway mark with the lead.
Yes, I think we're all set up for a breaststroke shootout now in this next 50. All these breaststrokers that we've got here in the pool will be trying to push on hard now. Let's see how they get on.
So lane 3, Ailey Armstrong, East Lothian. Lane 6, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire. Starting to come through in the middle lanes, particularly in lane 5. Charlotte Hardy from South Ayrshire, looking very strong. Also coming through in lane 2, Ciara Davidson, City of Glasgow. So it's going to be very close as they turn onto the, well, they turn at the far end for the last time. But I think it is going to be lane 5, Charlotte Hardy, South Ayrshire. Really powered up this third length, and she's going to take a nice lead onto the last leg of the IM.
Yep, 2 breaststroke silver medals for Charlotte, swimming for South Ayrshire, based down in Millfield.
Second place, lane 7 for Kirsty Neal. In third place in lane 3, Ailey Armstrong, but Charlotte Hardy looking very strong in the 15-year-old age group. So again, looking to cement a place in tonight's final. Coming through probably into second place in lane 7 now, Bishop Stortford, another 15-year-old. Kirsty Neal, so it's the youngsters in this heat leading the way. Lane 5, Charlotte Hardy, lane 7, Kirsty Neal.
And Charlotte bringing it in, so it really was that breaststroke from her, and Kirsty Neal also that strong breaststroke, earned her second place, so 2:30.84 for Charlotte, over a second inside her entry time. Kirsty 2:32.64, that's nudges 600ths off her entry time as well. Let's wait for the confirmed result, and there you have it. Gabriella Lessing taking third, just ahead of Kirsty Gilmore. So into the cycle seeded heats. We've got Jessica Heaps of Falthouse, Fern Crichton of Perth City, 2 Warrender girls, Anna Green in 2, and Rada McGregor in 3. Murray Craig, Sterling Swim in 4. Susie McNair, who's having a fantastic meet, she goes in 5 for first. Erin Taylor, gold medalist in the 200 breaststroke, she goes in lane 6 for Finns. Tegan Black of East Lothian in 7. Amy McLeod of City of Glasgow in 8. Catherine Boddy of Geary in lane 9.
So we're starting to see the medalists from the 400 IM in this heat now, the fastest heat. Susie McNair, as Duncan was saying, gold in the 400 IM, one of 4 that she's won already. The first 50, it's Van Rada McGregor leading the way in lane 3. Warren de Bath swimmer, ahead of Mary Craig in 4, Susie McNair in 5.
Rada, silver medalist at East District age groups 3 weeks ago, but it looks like she's being overtaken now in the backstroke. Anna Green, an excellent backstroker, so no surprise to see her moving out here. Saw a fantastic 100 backstroke battle between her and Holly McGill a couple of nights ago. And it looks like she's going to have the edge, unsurprisingly. at the halfway mark. The question is whether she can sustain it in the breaststroke. We'll find out now.
Going well in lane 0, Jessica Heaps in second place. In third place, Susie McNair in lane 5. Fern Crichton in lane 1, going well.
Just having a look to see who I think are the strong breaststrokers in this heat. Certainly Erin Taylor in that pale blue cap in lane 6. She's starting to move up. Strong breaststroker. Susie McNair, great all-rounder, of course. Then Rada McGregor is a good breaststroker in lane 3, and she is also pushing on.
And Mary Craig in lane 4 as well, the Sterling swimmer coming through. Bronze medalist in the 400 IM, so certainly strong in the back end of the race.
It's going to be all about the freestyle here to sort this one out, because there's going to be, what, 3 swimmers pretty much together. Erin Taylor, cracking breaststroke leg from her. Can she hold on down the stretch?
Erin Taylor in lane 6, Mary Craig in 4th, and Rada McGregor in 3. Looks like these 3 are going to fight out the finish. Lane 5, Susie McNair trying to battle back in as well.
So probably more of a competition for the 17-18s to vie for place in the final. You would think Susie McNair will be comfortably in the 15s, but this is a great swim from Erin Taylor, and I think she's just going to hold on. Oh, it was close in the end. 1600 separating her from Erin Taylor. From Mari Craig rather, and 2:30 on the nail for Susie McNair. I think there's more to come from her tonight, because entered on 2:25. Just taking a little while to bring the result up. I was just panicking for a moment, but no, we're fine. Erin Taylor then taking the win, Mari Craig, Susie McNair.
So now moving on to heat number 9. Lane 0, Iona Wilson, East Lothian. Lane 1, Sophie Hill, Warren de Bass. Lane 2, Lucy Stoves, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 3, Isabel Wood, Stirling Swim. Lane 4, Amy Watson, Inverclyde. Lane 5, Elise Cousins, Perth City. Lane 6, Chloe Brown, Bath University. Lane 7, Charlotte Thompson, Midlothian. Lane 8, Anna de Grosser from Best. And Lane 9, Olivia Mason, Warren de Bass. The second of our seeded heats, fastest central time here, Amy Watson, Inverclyde, 2:23.8 in lane 4. She's leading the way down the first 50.
Yes, so Amy Watson is another one that I think we'll see looking very good in the breaststroke leg, but she's looking pretty handy in the flyer, has to be said. Leading 30-13 there from Chloe Brown, who's having a good meet up from Bath.
Elise Cousins, Perth City in 3rd place. Elise also going well this week as well, but very close as they go into the backstroke leg. Lane 3, Isabel Wood from Stirling. Lane 4, Amy Watson. Lane 6, Chloe Brown. Lane 5, Elise Cousins. So it's the middle lanes. You would expect that in the seeded heats, but there's some other swimmers going well as well, particularly down here, lane 7, Charlotte. And lane 9, Olivia Mason, the Warren de Bath swimmer. It's lane 3, Isabel Wood turning first, 1:08.63 for her.
Now I'm expecting to see Amy Watson making a move here in the white cap in lane 4. Pushing on in the dark cap is Chloe Brown, and in between them Elise Cousins. And you are now starting to see Amy Watson moving up, but Chloe is as well. She's having a good breaststroke leg. And there's close-ups of our leaders, and that is Amy, you can see there, and really opening the gap up now.
Yeah, and the breaststroke swimmers really starting to come through. Lucy Stoves in lane 2, Dundee City Aquatics going well, and Chloe in lane 6, the Bath University swimmer. But it's Amy Watson, 1:50.159 as she turns. 2nd place for Chloe, about nearly 2 seconds behind. 3rd place was Lucy on that lane 2 after that breaststroke leg. She's now got a battle on with Isabel Wood next to her for 3rd and 4th. Isabel's winning that battle at the minute. No doubt who's going to win this heat, I think, with about 15 metres to go. It's going to be Inverclyde's Amy Watson. She's had the fastest entry time, looking to get a middle lane in the final tonight. Easing through into 2nd place is Isabel Wood from Stirling Swim. Going to be close for 3rd, I think. Might just be here down to lane 9. It is Warren de Bass, Olivia Mason. So Amy Watson, 2:26.95. 2nd place for Isabel Wood, 2:28.96. And 3rd place, lane 9's Olivia Mason, 2:29.93 for Olivia.
Yeah, so that was the classic 200 IM, wasn't it? Good solid fly from Amy. Not so strong in the backstroke, but powered through in the breaststroke, and then maintained that dominance on the final 50 freestyle. And in the end, a pretty emphatic victory for her. One more heat to go. There you have the lineup. Alice Mackey of Hearts of Midlothian in 0. Rowan Saunders of Hearts as well in 1. Millie Milne of Warrender in 2. Lula Gow of Geary in 3. Scarlett Ferris of Perth City in 4. Drew Mackenzie of City of Glasgow in 5. Melissa Mainwaring of West Lothian in 6. Naomi Maguire, City of Leicester in 7. Heidi Wren of City of Glasgow in 8. And Louisa Stoddart of East Lothian in lane 9.
And Drew Mackenzie, lane 5, leading this one out. Silver medalist in the 400 AM. Another swimmer who was down in Sheffield last week at the British Championships, where she swam really well, and she's still not holding anything back down the first 50, Duncan.
No, she's was faster than her entry time down in Sheffield last week. 200 IM is probably one of her signature events, so expect a pretty strong swim here from her. 29.08, certainly the fastest 50 fly split.
Second place in lane 4, Scarlett Ferris, red cap, Perth City. Third place in lane 6 for Melissa Mainwaring from West Lothian.
Yeah, Scarlett, I think, probably would have wanted to have made more ground on the backstroke. That's her speciality. So she's still quite a long way behind Drew. But again, remember, it's about qualifying for tonight, so they don't need to bust a gut here. And Drew 105.17 does seem to be pushing it pretty hard. But breaststroke probably where maybe she's slightly weaker.
Yeah, I think it's been a feature of the City of Glasgow team all week. They've gone really hard in the heat, so I'm not seeing very many of their swimmers, if any, hold back anything. I think that's been very much part of the strategy. Swim the heat hard and swim the final hard as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a good team ethos to have, isn't it? Because while it might be fairly straightforward for their stars to qualify for finals here, when they go down to England for the British events, that certainly wouldn't be the case, and so they've got to get in the habit of hard swims in the morning. And certainly Drew looks to be doing that. Yeah,
certainly one of our most promising young swimmers, Drew. Second place still Scarlett in lane 4, coming through in lane 3, as you would expect on the breaststroke from Geary New Lagao now. And that's going to be the 1, 2, 3, I think, battling out for 4th and 5th. We have Melissa Mainwaring in 6 and Naomi Maguire in 7.
So we'll see what Drew's time is. I've said 2:24 entry time, did a 2:23 in Sheffield. She's going to be just off those times, but pretty solid heat swim, 2:25.40, and that is the fastest qualifier into the finals tonight by about a second and a half. Scarlett Ferris will be there in 2:27.66, and Nuala Gow, I'm sure, as well, 2:27.80. They're all in that older age group, 17-18s. Miss Mainwaring 2:31.36 in the 16 age group. So I'm sure she'll be there. Alice Mackey in that age group as well.
Yeah, excellent swim from Drew, and no surprise to see her swim the fastest time in the morning, 2:25.4. Amy Watson was second in that, and Scarlett Ferris was third. All the times coming through. Don't forget, these will then be split into 3 finals later on, one in the 15-year-old age group, one in the 16-year-old age group, and one in the 17-18. So just because you're not in the top 10 doesn't mean that you won't get a final tonight, depending which age category you're swimming in. And we'll see many of these swimmers back.
I think we've got the potential possibly for a swim-off for a reserve spot in the 15-year-old age group. We'll see about that, but I can see there are 2 swimmers on 2:37.77 who are in that sort of area, Caris Mooney and Katie Barron, so we'll wait and see about that one.
So as these screens just roll through with all the results from our first event, we now move on to, or we will shortly move on to our second event of the morning, which is event 402, the boys 200 metre freestyle.
Yeah, we've got 10 heats in this, so 10 heats at 200 IM, 10 heats now 200 freestyle, both popular events. Lots of swimmers qualifying to compete in it.
You should see the swimmers' names come up on the screen very shortly. There they are. Lane 0, Ollie Weavers from Carnegie. Lane 1, Lewis Muir from Carnegie. Lane 2, Callum McLaughlin, City of Glasgow. Lane 3, Robbie Boyd, Warren de Bass. Lane 4, David Landman, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Tom Armitage from Highland. Lane 6, Fraser Donaldson from Mulgai and Bearsden. Lane 7, Fraser Stewart from Step Rock. Lane 8, Nathan Wilson, Carnegie. And Lane 9, Luke Garrity from Inverclyde.
So 2:14 to 2:16 is the range of times here. Nice opening from lane 3, Robbie Boyd of Warrender. He's up by a metre or so from David Lambert beside him, and then Tom Armitage, Warrender, Glasgow, Highland. 1, 2, 3, 28 to 74.
Yeah, so the Warren de Bass swimmer, Robbie Boyd, not hanging about down that first 50.
Being
Second place.
pushed by David Landman. Looks like David maybe has the edge here as we come up to halfway. The swimmers on your right hand side of your screen also pretty close. 1:03.23 halfway mark, and that is David Landman now 4/10 ahead of Robbie Boyd.
Third place on the near side for Nathan Wilson in lane 8. Fourth place for Tom Armitage in the middle.
So a mini arrowhead in the centre lane, sort of broken up a bit on the outsides, but it is Landman. All these swimmers in the 15-year-old age group.
So the near side of the pool overall leading the way. But lane 4, David Landman, 1:38.41.
He looks to be holding that advantage down this final length. Let's see whether anybody can mount a late challenge here. They are close enough, and certainly Robbie Boyd, who was the early leader, is giving it a go, and the other side, Tom Armitage as well. So this could be pretty tight at the end here, but I think it's the Warrender swimmer just with that acceleration at the end. But can he sustain it all the way to the wall? The answer is yes, he can. 2:12.17 takes it by a tenth from Tom Armitage. David Lambert ending up third, 2:12.83. All three comfortably inside their entry time, so 3 very nice swims there. Well done, guys. And Robbie Boyd taking the honours.
So cracking heat 1 to get us going there. Very little separating the top 3 swimmers. Just half a second.
So I guess that's a sort of classic tactic in the 200 freestyle. Go out hard, maybe settle down a bit in the middle 100, and then a rip-roaring final 50. That's certainly how Robbie swam it. It worked very nicely for him. So the second heat line up there. Jack Doherty-Simpson of Scotia in 0. Hayden Mackenzie of Kinross in 1. Carl Muirhead of West Lothian in 2. Ben King of Mulgai and Bearsden in 3. Harry Keogh of Red 96 in 4. Dan Hall, Aberdeen Performance in 5. Taylor Sinclair of Elgin in 6. Jamie Gilchrist, South Lanarkshire in 7. Adam Thompson of Kilmarnock in 8. And Jaden Chan of Carnegie in lane 9.
So a couple of 16-year-olds in this heat. Hayden Mackenzie in lane 1 and Jamie Gilchrist in 7. Put up the first 50. It's going to be in lane 3, Ben King. Mulgai and Bearsden swimmer leads first, 29.38. Ed Taylor Sinclair in lane 6 in second.
Just 400s between them at that first turn. Looks like maybe Taylor just edging it now, although really all 10 swimmers still there or thereabouts. Coming down, just give a feel from as they go past the red markers. There are, well, 4 of them anyway, who are going to turn pretty close, but it is going to be the Elgin swimmer. Where did I get Enfield from? 1:02.22.
Starts with E, and that's about it, I think, Duncan. Second place there for Ben King in lane 3 from Mulgai and Bearsden. Third place at that turn was Dan Hall, just very closely behind in lane 1, Hayden Mackenzie, the Kinross swimmer. But still everything to play for, but it's still very much Elgin's Taylor Sinclair leading the way up this third 50.
Finalist in North District age groups a few weeks ago. Nice third 50 from Jack Doherty-Simpson up at the top in the light green. He's got himself in with that group vying for second, but Taylor starting to open the gap up now, up by more than a second and a half at the 150, so driving it on well here.
Yeah, Harry Keown starting to come through a little bit in lane 4, Ben King in 3, but they're going to have to go some to catch our leader, Taylor Sinclair.
The Enfield swimmer, is that? Rather different part of the country, Elgin up in the northeast coast, and well, he's coming under pressure here. Who's going to get the touch?
Just holds on.
Yep, he does by 1200ths. Taylor from Ben, 2:10.40 and 2:10.52, so two cracking swims there, both inside their entry times. And third place in lane 4, Harry Keogh. His time, just wait for it to come up, there it is, 2:11.63, 300ths inside his entry time.
So moving on to heat 3, lane 0, Charlie Trahan from Mulgai and Bearsden. Lane 1, David Traynor, South Ayrshire. Lane 2, Ben Smallwood, Kinross. Lane 3, Lewis Moyer from South Lanarkshire. Lane 4, Alex Black from First. Lane 5, Jamie Glenn, North Lanarkshire. Lane 6, Connor Mitchell, Warren de Bath. Lane 7, Archie Smith, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 8, Ethan Stewart, South Lanarkshire. And lane 9, Mano Drysdale from Warren de Bath. Very close in entry times on paper, 2:11.01, Alex Black, so see if any of these swimmers can get under 2:11 and swim the fastest time in the morning, which currently stands with Taylor Sinclair, 2:10.4.
Once again, we got a swimmer really pushing it hard down this first 50, and that is North Lanarkshire's Jamie Glenn in lane 5. Yellow cap. Not seen North Lanarkshire in a yellow cap, I don't think, before, but 27.74 is the fastest 50 split we've seen by a fair margin.
Second place either side of him, Connor Mitchell in 6, and in lane 4, Alex Black, but certainly Jamie's gone off hard. Let's see if he can maintain it. As Duncan said, many different ways to swim the 200. One is simply to blast off in front and see if you can hang on, and that's certainly Jamie's tactics here, and he's still looking very strong coming to the halfway mark. Second place in lane 4 will be Alex Black, third place will be Connor Mitchell in 6. A minute dead, that's really quick for the first 100.
Yep, hang on the minute, a second and a quarter up on the competition, but I think they might come at him in the second half here. Alex Black of First trying to lead the fight back. Really only him at the moment who is mounting a challenge. The others 2 or 3 meters behind.
Yeah, third place still, lane 6, Connor Mitchell. Lane 2, Ben Smallwood from Kinross. Possibly this side of the pool as well. 8, Ethan Stewart. 9, Mano Drysdale. But I think it's a race between the two, 1:34.17. So they have slowed down considerably that third 50. And it looks like it's going to be between Jamie Glenn, our long-time leader, and Alex Black fighting back in lane 4.
But I think Jamie Glenn maybe has saved something in that third 50 because he knew he was going to need it now. And he is continuing to lead by a bit more than a metre, and I can't see him being caught. It's a good race going on at the bottom of your screen there for third place, but it's Jamie Glenn, so that tactic worked off very nicely for him. 2:08.22 his time.
Second place for Alex Black in lane 4. Good swim from Alex under his entry time. And third place on this side of the pool was in lane 9 from Warren de Bath, Mano Drysdale. Time 2:11.25, so a nice personal best for Mano as well.
So that was a brave way to do it from Jamie there. Really pushed it hard, but still had something in reserve for that last 50 when he was under a little bit of pressure going through that final turn from Alex, but in the end beat him by 2 seconds, so good effort. Here's the lineup for heat number 4. Marcus Blake, City of Glasgow in 0. Edward Bell of Seagulls, gold medalist last night. He goes in 1. Cameron Gill of First in 2. Jonah Turnbull of Midlothian in 3. Guy Pelosi of City of Glasgow in 4. Logan van der Merlen, starting swim in 5. Fraser Tetlow of Geary in 6. Bailey McGinley of First in 7. Alex Wiseman, City of Stoke in 8. And Ewan Mitchell of South Lanarkshire in lane 9.
A gold medalist from last night, Edward Bell, Seagull swimmer in lane 1, going quick down this first 50. Also going well in lane 5, Stirling swims Logan van der Meulen. This side of the pool, Ewan Mitchell, South Lanarkshire. And that's your 1, 2, 3 down the first 50.
So 28.08. Backstroke was where he got his gold last night, 200 back. That's looking pretty useful on the freestyle. You see there quite a lead he's opened up early on here.
This side of the pool going well, lanes 8 and 9. Alex Wiseman in 8, Ewan Mitchell in 9. And also coming through now in lane 3, Jonah Turnbull from Midlothian.
So 1:00.28, slightly slower than that minute dead that we saw from Jamie at halfway in the previous heat. But possibly slightly different tactics being employed, although still trying to win it from the front. Moving up now is Jonah Turnbull of Midlothian. The Midlothian crew swam really well this week, and he is starting to challenge, I think, now.
I think he is. It's between these two at this stage. It's Edward Bell in 1, Jonah Turnbull in 3.
And Jonah by 200ths has the lead now, and we'll see whether he can push on or whether Edward has something in reserve for this final 50. I think it's the former.
Still very close between these two for sure. Race going on for third in lane 5, Logan van der Meulen, but it's nip and tuck between the two leading swimmers.
Yeah, and I might have written off Edward Bell far too soon, because he's now got back into the lead and looks like he's just going to edge it. He does. Well done, Edward. 2:06.93 against Jonah's 2:07.01. Both of them pushing each other to good best times there. So that's the benefit of racing, isn't it? You can pull out a time that you never knew you had in you. I think that was the case there for Edward and Jonah. 2 excellent times. So Edward going in the 15 age groups, Jonah in the 16 age group. Wonder if that will be good enough to get them final spots. Hopefully it will.
Heat 5, lane 0, Lewis Gray from Inverclyde. Lane 1, Jack MacDonald from Putteridge. Lane 2, James Boddy from Geary. Lane 3, Jack Mitchell, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 4, Thomas Traynor, South Lanarkshire. Lane 5, Gregor Skinner from First. Lane 6, Kai Connolly, City of Glasgow. Lane 7, Adam Scott, City of Glasgow. Lane 8, Sean Sy Griffiths, Warren de Baths. And Lane 9, Ben Montgomery, Stirling Swim.
So 2:07s to 2:09s. The entry times here. Thomas Traynor with the fastest, 2:07.66. Well, it's all pretty canny stuff, I think, down this first length. Maybe just lane 6, Kai Connolly, City of Glasgow.
Yeah, Kai swam very well yesterday in the 1500, 28.31 down that first 50. Second place, lane 5, Gregor Skinner. Third place, Adam Scott, but certainly a lot closer this heat than the last couple that we've seen.
Yeah, the Warren, the swimmer, also going well. Sean Sy Griffiths in lane 8, trying to compete with all those blue caps on his left-hand side.
Looks like he's coming through to lead as they come under the flags at the end of this first 100, although Kai Connolly in lane 6 might have something to say about that. I think it will just be Kai that touches first. 1:00.62 for Kai. Second place is Sean Sy Griffiths, just 0.8 behind. Thomas Traynor in lane 4, South Lanarkshire. But we've certainly got a race on up this third 50.
Yes, we do. Kai will be just wanting to hold on to his advantage, and I think he's just moving away from Sean. But these blue caps around him are still very much there. Lane 4, Thomas Traynor. Lane 5, Gregor Skinner. Thomas Traynor also a medalist in the 1500 freestyle. So it's going to be these three, I think, battling it out down the final 50.
They turn in line, 1:34.01 for Gregor in lane 5, but Kai and Thomas right there with him, and it looks like between these three, although Adam Scott in lane 7 starting to come through as well. Another City of Glasgow blue hat. So in lane 5, Gregor Skinner. Lane 6, Kai Connolly. Lane 4, Thomas Traynor. Lane 7, Adam Scott. But possibly just lane 5. The first for McGregor Skinner is going to bring this in. Lane 4, Thomas Traynor in second, I think. And it is lane 5, Gregor Skinner. 2:06.53 for Gregor. Second place, lane 4, Thomas Traynor. And third place, actually coming through in lane 9, was Ben Montgomery. 2:06.53. So the fastest time of the morning so far by 0.4. Very strong last 50.
Yeah, good competitive race, that one. And there's confirmation of the result in the end. Pretty emphatic win by Gregor by nearly a second, and then very close, those three swimmers on 2:07s. 6, Adam Scott ran 96 in 0, Fergus Curry of Margay and Besden in 1, Ewan Jones of West Lothian in 2, Cedar Gullen of Warrender in 3, Callum Dunn of South Ayrshire in 4, Jake Holmes, City of Glasgow in 5, Calvin MacDonald of Aberdeen Performance in 6, Torrin Liversedge, South Aberdeenshire in 7, Joe Carter of Delting Dolphins in 8, and Adam Curry of North Ayrshire in lane 9.
Very close on entry times in this heat, 206.2 through to 207. And very close going up the first 50, but it's the middle lanes. Lane 5, Jake Holmes, another blue cap from City of Glasgow. Lane 6, Calvin MacDonald, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 4, Callum Dunn, South Ayrshire.
Yeah, not much to choose between them, just 200s between those top three, 27.78 to 27.80. So is somebody going to make a move in the middle portion of this race? The white cap is Calvin MacDonald of Aberdeen Performance. Also in the mix, Cedar Gullen in lane 3 for Warrender, but it's the two blue caps just ahead of them, I think. Callum in 4, Jake in 5. Maybe Jake just going to get, well, no, I think it's going to be Cedar actually in lane 3, taking the halfway mark. That's our first under the minute. 3 of them all getting under the minute there for halfway. 59.49 for Cedar.
He's set off the pace on the first 50, and he really has started to open up in the middle part of this race. We talked about different tactics, but that first 50 was very conservative, but he's looking very strong going down this third 50. He's pulled about a body length clear.
Yeah, so a build length by length is certainly a good way to swim the freestyle, and see if he's got the legs to just get this one done down the final 50, because he's opened up now a lead of over a second and a half. So can he now just finish the job? Entry time for Cedar 2:06.30.
Second place still in lane 4, Callum Dunn. Very close for third, but this one looks all over by the shouting for Cedar Gullen. This is going to be a very impressive swim and comfortably the fastest time. He just looks to be getting stronger and stronger coming under the flags.
Yeah, pushing it hard and coming in 2:03.54. He's going to be really pleased with that, I think. Nearly 3 seconds inside his entry time and moving towards that 2-minute mark. So he will be looking for a 16-year-old final spot with that, and it's hard to see him not getting that. Excellent stuff from Cedar. Calvin MacDonald in a tussle, but gets second over Adam Scott of Wren and Callum Dunn of South Ayrshire.
Heat 7, lane 0, Callum Gould, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 1, Kane Buchanan, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 2, Greg Hall, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 3, Ewan Allen, City of Chester. Lane 4, Zach Slater, East Lothian. Lane 5, Fraser Claxton, Heart of Midlothian. Lane 6, Jack Murphy, North Lanarkshire. Lane 7, Sam Moore, South Ayrshire. Lane 8, Cameron Duran, North Lanarkshire. And lane 9, Callum Sinclair, West Lothian. Your swimmers for Heat 7.
So Zach Slater in lane 4 and Jack Murphy in lane 6. They're going to be vying for it. Jack Murphy, I think, just getting the touch at the 50, 27.43 for him, up by 1300ths on the previous, on Zach Slater rather, and a little bit faster than the previous heat. Lane 8, not far away, Cameron Doran, and lane 3, Ewan Allen. Not seen Ewan, I don't think, in these championships, so up for the weekend from Chester. Welcome, Ewan.
And it's still Jack Murphy leading the way, North Lanarkshire swimmer in lane 6. He's going to touch first, ahead of in lane 4, Zach Slater. Again under the minute, 59.68 for Jack, 59.76 for Zach. Third place on the far side of the pool was Callum Gould, ahead of Ewan Allen in lane 3. But it looks still everything to play for, but it's lane 4, Zach Slater starting to come through now, the East Lothian swimmer. Youngest swimmer in this race, in the 15-year-old age group. But looking very powerful up this third 50.
Yeah, he's maybe adopting a bit of the similar tactics to what we saw from Sean in the previous heat. Really pushing it on in that third 50 and open up a gap of a second. Now again, the challenge will be to maintain this momentum down the stretch as we see pushing it on. He's only really got one swimmer, Jack Murphy, who's been the one who's been around him pretty much all the time, and Jack is giving it a go. Will he get there? Probably not. Zach Slater into the final 5. He's up by maybe a metre and takes the win in 2:03.90. So that's also a good PB, nearly a second and a half for Zach. Jack Murphy 2:04.32, Callum Gold 2:05.66. Zach part of that 4x200 record-breaking East Lothian team on Wednesday. So doing his bit as the individual there, and I'm sure that will see him swimming again in the 15-year-olds tonight.
Actually 1, 2, 3 on the screens. That's Slater East Lothian in first place, 2:03.90. Jack Murphy in second place.
So the lineup for Heat 8, Max Pelosi, City of Glasgow in 0, Luke Porteous of East Lothian in 1, Finn Bremner of Warrender in 2, then 2 more East Lothian boys, Callum Peebles in 3, Stefan Kravitz in 4, Nathan Campbell of Stirling Swim in 5, Murray Pritchard of Perth City in 6, Brodie Gordon-Gibson of Warrender in 7, Jake Gibson of Brock in 8, and Kieran Lennox, Aberdeen Performance in lane 9.
Callum Peebles leading this one out in lane 3, 27.24, the first of our seeded heats, so I'm sure we'll see some faster times start to come through now. Second place of that first 50 was Jake Gibson under here on lane 8, and in third place Brodie Gordon-Gibson, bronze medalist last night.
Callum, silver medalist in the 400 freestyle. Watch out for Stefan Kravitz here. He's tacticked this weekend has very much been second half based in his different events, including the 200 fly where he came from way back to win the gold. So let's see whether he's going to do the same here in lane 4. He's going to have to make a move sometime soon.
He's starting to come through now, and it's going to be very close, I think, down this last 50. It's still this side of the pool at the minute, going very well in lane 7. Brodie Gordon-Gibson, the Warren de Bath swimmer.
His teammate Finn Bremner in lane 2 as well. So at the moment it's looking like Warrender versus East Lothian in the centre lanes. Finn Bremner 800ths up on Brodie. Callum Peebles in third place.
And here comes Stefan Kravitz with the turbos down the last 50. Look at that turn, look at that speed down this last 50. This is very impressive.
It is pure power, isn't it? You just see it.
Junior team member, certainly one of our most promising young swimmers, and this is an incredibly impressive heat swim. 1:58.40 for Stefan.
28.04, look at that, the final 50. Finn Bremner 30.5, Callum 30.6, and Nathan 30.7. So, yeah, he's employing that same old tactic. It's working for him.
Talked very much about different ways to swim, and that was very different. I think he was 4th or 5th at the turn with 50 to go. And after about 15 metres of the last 50, he was in the lead and pulled further and further away. Second place for Finn Bremner, third for Callum Peebles. Heat number 9, lane 0, Jacob Wood from Elgin. Lane 1, Jack Simpson from South Lanarkshire. Lane 2, Archie Dixon, City of Glasgow. Lane 3, Lucas Brown, Elgin. Lane 4, Evan Davidson, Perth City. Lane 5, John Taylor, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 6, Alex Thompson, Warren de Bath. Lane 7, Scott Fleming, South Lanarkshire. Lane 8, Bria van der Meulen, Stirling Swim. And Lane 9, Ben McLaughlin from Geary. Keep an eye out for Evan Davidson in lane 4, Perth City swimmer, having outstanding championships, 5 gold medals already over the first 3 days.
Yeah, going in the 15 age group, it's hard to see him not getting a 6th in this event tonight. But first of all, the job, of course, is to get there into a good lane in the 15-year-old final for him. The 16-year-old Lucas Brown is also having a very successful championships in 3. John Taylor, very much distance specialist for him. This is a sprint for John.
Yeah, but so far it's a bit cat and mouse again in this second heat. There's certainly nothing to choose between the swimmers, possibly just lane 6, Alex Thompson, the Warren Bath swimmer, but certainly no one's committing just at this stage, and with 100 metres to go, it's going to be anyone's race. Coming under the flags now, lane 4, Evan starting to come through for Perth City. He's not going to leave it to the last 50 like we saw Stefan in the previous heat, and he's going to be in the lead at halfway, 58.7 out.
Yeah, leads by 3/10 from Scott Fleming, another swimmer who's having pretty successful championships. Good number of medals. Don't think he's had a gold yet, but well, he'll be hoping that that's corrected before the weekend is over. But it does look like Evan just gradually opening up this gap, showing the class swimmer that he is. Winner of the Festival of Swimming last year, and pushing on hard now. 1:29.48 leads by best part of a second.
Scott Fleming, second place in lane 7, third place for John Taylor, silver medalist in the 1500 yesterday, so he's got plenty of back-end stamina in there, but this is very impressive from the young Perth swimmer in lane 4. Looks like it will be Scott in second place in lane 7 and John third. This will be a comfortable qualification into tonight's final for Evan. 2:00.31. So I'm sure we'll see a faster time tonight. Second place was Scott Fleming in lane 7. And third place, Aberdeen Performances, John Taylor in lane 5.
Yeah, it looked very comfortable there for Evan, didn't it? It's, I think has quite a lot in hand, but that's going to see him, I think, into lane 4 in the 15-year-old final. Confirmation of the result there. And one more heat to go. And in that heat, we've got Robert Burgess, City of Glasgow, in 0. His teammate Angus Johnson in 1. Ben Kelly for Warrender in 2. Finley Club of Aberdeen Dolphin in 3. And 2 more City of Glasgow swimmers, Andrew Bertoli and Rory Mckinnon, going 4 and 5. William Storer of South Aberdeenshire in 6. Michael Van Blerk of Warrender in 7. Leighton Burr of Aberdeen Performance in 8. And Ewan Houston around 96 in 9. Swimmers just been sent back from the block, so there's obviously some little technical glitch that's happened at the moment. Not sure what that is, but hopefully we'll be back away pretty quickly. Looking at this one, we've got a couple of 16-year-olds. So it's Ben Kelly and Leighton Burr going in lanes 2 and 8, and the rest all in the 17-18 age group. So we're done with the 15-year-olds, and so we can confirm that Evan Davidson will be the fastest qualifier for the 15-year-old final. Zach Slater will be there, and Callum Gould as well, so with the top 3 qualifiers for that one, but we're still unresolved for the other 2 age groups.
It'll be fascinating to see this heat when we do get it going. Lane 4 will be Andrew Bertoli, and lane 5 Rory Mckinnon, both City of Glasgow swimmers, and Rory specialising in the 50-100s, Andrew in the 400 and above, so the 200 is where they clash, the sprinters and the distance swimmers. It'll be interesting to see who comes through. Andrew has the fastest entry time on paper. I don't think we'll see that in the heat, but hopefully we can get close to that tonight in the final.
Yeah, I'm sure in that 17-18 final, Glasgow will be looking for big points. And talking about points, I know we'll leave that for a while because the referee's whistle's gone. And so it does look like we're ready to go now in this final 200 freestyle heat. Heat number 10. Swimmers back to the blocks, and the long whistle goes. And hopefully the swimmers will be away. And they are. So the 2 Glasgow swimmers we talked about, and the blue caps in the golden lanes. Much of a muchness early on, maybe just Andrew Bertoli opening up the slight gap. Lane 2, Ben Kelly of Warrender.
Yeah, Andrew taking this one out at the first 50. He's going to touch first. Second place in lane 9 for Ewan Houston. Third place in lane 3 for Aberdeen Dolphins Finley Club. But Andrew's certainly not hanging about. He's not swimming this like Stefan. He's going to take this one out hard. And as we talked about before, this does seem to be a trade of City of Glasgow swimmers this week. Swim the heat really hard and swim the final hard as well.
Yeah, interesting, because in his other events, he's tended to hang back a little bit in the first half and then almost do a Stefan Kravitz job on the second half, but different tactics this time. He's pushing this one out from the front. He's over 2 seconds ahead of anybody else. Finley Club second, Rory Mckinnon third. So this is...
He's obviously feeling well, Duncan. He's obviously in good shape. Swam last week, as we talked about before, down in Sheffield. Maybe just easing off a little bit up this first 50, up the third 50, but still looking very comfortable. Swimmers either side, Finley Club in 3 and Rory Mckinnon in 5, coming back at him, but I'm sure he's got plenty in reserve.
Yeah, it was a 29.1 for his second 50, and you can see there 32.4, so he certainly called that easing back. That's 3 seconds slower, and yeah, so definitely that was the race plan, I think, just to push it out hard in the 100 and then ease your way to the finish. It's looking tight for second. Finley Club and Mcgavin are now starting to make a move. Rory Mckinnon in lane 5. None of them will get close to Andrew Bertoli. Completely in control there, and you just felt that if he'd needed to put in a bit of extra pace, he could have done.
Yeah, comfortable heat swim from Andrew. Did what he needed to do to get a middle lane in tonight's final. Second place was Rory Mckinnon with a very quick last 50, 30.36 down that last 50 for Rory. And third place was, I think, Finley Club, Aberdeen Dolphins. There it is, 2:00.98 for Finley.
So it's very interesting variations in tactics there. You see Stefan Kravitz fastest overall. He'll go in the 16 age group. Andrew Bertoni we just saw. So he'll have lane 4 in the 17-18s. As I mentioned, Evan Davidson will have lane 4 in the 15-year-old age group. So yeah, that was fun, those 200 freestyles. It's 100 butterfly up next.
Yeah, the girls back in the pool for 10 heats of the 100 butterfly. Just scrolling through the 200 results still coming through on the scoreboard there. So all the swimmers' times are coming through in order.
Yeah, so while we do that, we can talk a bit about the team points, team competition as well here. And the top 10, we'll just drip through some of them and then we'll stop once the race gets going. So first, the Falkirk based team, 10th in 139. Just ahead of them, local rivals Stirling Swimming, 156. And Aberdeen Dolphin in 8th, 157.5. Then it's Hearts, they had a good night last night. 161 for them. They've moved up the rankings. South Lanarkshire ahead of them in 6th with 217.5. Then it's University of Aberdeen, 269.5. And I'll leave you the top 4 for later on. Keep you in suspense.
Yeah, if you've not heard your team read out yet, that's good news, hopefully, if they're in the top 4. But moving on to event 403, the girls 100 metre butterfly. Heat 1, lane 1, Katie Simpson, Heart of Midlothian. Lane 2, Alison Wood from Highland. Lane 3, Abby Mavrikakis from Portsmouth. Lane 4, Caitlin Smith from Orkney. Lane 5, Rachel Maguire, North Ayrshire. Lane 6, Ava Kirkham from First. And Lane 7, Ella Chalmers from Eithen. Fastest central time here, 1:13.64 from the Orkney swimmer Caitlin Smith. But on the outside, it's Ella Chalmers. We've also seen Ella swim well this morning, the Eithen swimmer, and she's leading the way down the first 50.
Yeah, she had a good 200 IM, I seem to remember,
she
right
did.
At the beginning of the morning.
Back in the pool and swimming strongly here, 31.92 for her. Second place, lane 4, Caitlin Smith. And third place on the far side for Katie Simpson. So, swimmers right across the pool here, leading 1, 2, 3.
1:13.88. Ella Chalmers is entry time. Looks like she's coming under some pressure now, though. Let's see, lane 1, Katie Simpson of Hearts perhaps has their better of her now. I think it is going to be the Hearts girl bringing this one home. Three-way contest now for second, but Katie takes it. 1:11.31. Nice improvement of 2.7 for her.
Yeah, second place was Ella, 1:13.02, so a nice personal best for her. And in third place was the Portsmouth swimmer, Abby Mavrikakis, and she came through for third.
Confirmation there of that result. And we start to think about heat number 2. Kira Pemble goes for best in 0. Phoebe Murdoch of South Ayrshire in 1. Alice Hall of South Aberdeenshire in 2, Erica Watt of Hearts in 3, Honor Mcgavin of Inverclyde in 4, Emma Barrowman of Stranraer in 5, Rona Anderson of Shetland in 6, Casey Drummond of Incas in 7, Charlotte Hardy of South Ayrshire in 8, Zara Innes Carnegie in 9. A couple of swimmers there, Casey and Charlotte, both have very good 200 IMs. See how they get on in lanes 6 or 7 and 8 rather. The fastest entry time here on Mcgavin of Inverclyde, and she's off to a good start.
She certainly is, as is Charlotte Hardy in 8 and Kira Pemble in 0. But it's going to be the middle lane, I think, touching first. Anna Mcgavin, 31.97. Second place was Charlotte Hardy. Third place for Kira Pemble in lane 0, ahead of Emma Barrowman in 5 and Rona Anderson in 6. Starting to come through in lane 8 now is Charlotte Hardy.
So we saw that blistering breaststroke leg in the IM from Charlotte. That's very much her strength, but showing her skills at butterfly here. Is she going to be able to do enough here? Let's see as they come in. Certainly Honor is still very much in the mix here, and I think it's between the two of them, and it'll be about finishing skills now. Oh, and that was Charlotte, absolutely nailed her finish. Honor just slightly in between strokes there as she came in, so that gave it to Charlotte 1:10.13, and big improvement of 3 seconds for her on her entry time, so she'll be happy with that. On at 1:10.36, very good swim as well. Erica Watt taking third, 1:12.55.
Heat number 3, lane 0, Maria Howe, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 1, Abby Barnstable, South Lanarkshire. Lane 2, Faye Ligondag from South Aberdeenshire. Lane 3, Katie Brennan, North Lanarkshire. Lane 4, Georgia Reid, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Millie Donachie from South Lanarkshire. Lane 6, Ailey Galt from Eithen. Lane 7, Maya Reynard, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 8, Lexine McCappin from First. And lane 9, Emily Dickens, City of Glasgow. Time to beat, 1:10.13 from our previous heat. Going well in lane 5, Millie Donachie from South Lanarkshire. Also going well in lane 6, Ailey Galt from Eithen. And possibly just Ailey leading the way up this first 50.
Yeah, pretty close, isn't it, as they come up to the wall, but it does look like it's Ailey Galt in the red cap in lane 6, and it is 32.13, just a little bit back on the split from the previous heat, a couple of tenths, not much.
Second place for Millie Donachie in lane 5, third place over there in lane 1 for Abby Barnstable, the South Lanarkshire swimmer, and she's finishing strongly and certainly going well in lane 5, Millie Donachie. Still Millie just in lane 5 leading the way. On this side of the pool, starting to come through now is the first swimmer, Lexine McCappin. And it's going to be very tight, I think. Also coming back in lane 5 is Millie Donachie, and lane 6, Ailey Galt from Eithen. Just Ailey, I think, is going to get it on the touch, is she? Oh, it's lane 5, Millie Donachie, 1:11.69, just 5/100ths ahead of Ailey Galt in the next lane in lane 6. And Lexine McCappin with a very strong last 50, 1:11.96 in third place.
Yeah, again, all about the finish there. It's just got to nail that, get your stroke absolutely right so that you can get to the wall with the maximum extension. And Millie certainly did that and nailed it and nicked the win by 500ths. On to heat number 4. And we've got Chloe McLean, Dundee City Aquatics in 0, Gemma Brown of Carnegie in 1, Natalie Marshall of West Lothian in 2, Georgia Dickey of Dumfries in 3, Eva Gordon of Stirling Swim in 4, Kate Cassidy of Aberdeen Performance in 5, Kira Bain of Highland in 6, Louise Connell of City Glasgow in 7, Freya Masson of Shetland in 8, and Lucia Bivar Segurado of East Lothian in lane 9.
Going well lanes 5 and 6, Kate Cassidy in 5, Kira Bain in 6. Also go well on the far side of the pool, Gemma Brown in lane 1. But it's possibly just going to be lane 5, Kate Cassidy, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 6, Kira Bain leading the way at the first turn. And it is Kate Cassidy, 32.38. Very close behind, Kira Bain in lane 6, Gemma Brown in 1.
Yep, so these butterfly heats are all, I think, going to be pretty competitive. Swimmers very evenly matched. Lane 5, certainly Kate Cassidy. looking to try and see this one through to the end. Can she do it? Well, I'm not sure. I think it might be the Carnegie swimmer Gemma Brown who is pushing on well in the second half, and I think that's going to be a nice win for her. Second inside her inch time, 1:10.40.
Second place was Kate Cassidy in lane 5. Finishing strong with the third was Dumfries' Georgia Dickey in lane 3.
So would you like to know the top 4 teams in the championships after day 3? I can tell you that in 4th place, 320 points, was Perth City. In 3rd place, 438.5 points, East Lothian. Second, 676 points, Warren de Bath. Still winning. They've been winning all 3 days so far. 828 points, City of Glasgow.
We've got 2 swimmers in this next heat, Duncan, which feels appropriate. Heat 5, lane 0, Lauren Anderson from Fauldhouse. Lane 1, Zoe Crawford from First. Lane 2, Anna Williamson, City of Glasgow. Lane 3, Ariana Stokes from Tynemouth. Lane 4, Lucy de Grosser from Best. Lane 5, Ivana Janssen from Warren de Bath. Lane 6, Alexandra Miller from Fauldhouse. Lane 7, Ella Stevenson from North Lanarkshire. Lane 8, Amy McLeod from City of Glasgow. And Lane 9, Alicia Goodbrand from Eithen.
Coming up to the turn then, and lovely view across the pool there. You just see Ivana Janssen turning first, but only by the narrowest of margins from Ariana Stokes, 31.74, 31.76.
Certainly everything to play for coming down this second 50, as you said in the previous heat, very closely matched, particularly in this heat as well. Lanes 3 and 5 at the minute, Ariana Stokes in 3, Ivana Janssen in 5, but there's some closers. Lane 4, Lucy de Grosser from Best. She has an entry time sub 1:10 and she looks to be finishing the strongest, but it's going to be very close. Also going well, Lauren Anderson on the far side, but I think it's going to be Lucy de Grosser, the best swimmer, who's finished very strongly, and she takes it. 1:09.85 for Lucy. Second place was on the far side, Lauren Anderson, 1:10.83, ahead of third place, lane 5, Ivana Janssen.
So, nice little swim there in a competitive race from Lucy. On the borders, she's based in Gala Shields area, and just edging inside her entry time. So well done to her.
And our first sub 1:10 of the morning, so well done to Lucy.
Heat 6, Ashley Drake of Warrender, then 2 from South Lanarkshire, Ayla Kennedy and Kirsty Gilmore. Mia McLeod of Swimmet in 3, Emily Cumming of Kinross in 4, Rosie Liston of City of Glasgow in 5, Naomi Maguire of City of Leicester in 6, Emma Creaney of North Lanarkshire in 7, Katie Campbell of Aberdeen Dolphin in 8, and Isla MacDonald of Highland in lane 9.
Middle lanes having up the first 50. Lane 4, Emily Cumming of Kinross. Lane 5, Rosie Liston, City of Glasgow. Lane 6, Naomi Maguire, City of Leicester. Possibly just going to be in lane 5. Rosie touches first, ahead of Naomi in 6, Emily in 4, but just 0.3 between the 3 swimmers.
So it does look like it's going to be the middle lane sorting this one out. They're about half a second faster than the previous heat at the turn. And as you see across the pool there, lane 5 now, Rosie Liston of City of Glasgow just edging it, but Naomi Maguire is pushing hard in lane 6. I think they're going to be ahead of Emily Cumming, and it looks like it is the Glasgow swimmer, Rosie Liston, who's going to do enough to finish the job here. Strong finish from Kirsty Gilmore in 2 as well, trying to get in the mix. In fact, she did edge it up into 3rd. And Katie Campbell also a good strong finish there, but it was Rosie Liston taking the win in 1:08.74. Second, Naomi Maguire, and 3rd place, Kirsty Gilmore.
Strong swim from Rosie. Nicely inside her entry time. Our heat 7 swimmers. Lane 0, Milana Lau from South Aberdeenshire. Lane 1, Amber Stevenson, South Ayrshire. Lane 2, Grace Courtney, East Lothian. Lane 7, Lauren Clark, East Lothian. Lane 4, Madison Gallagher first. Lane 5, Iona Wilson, East Lothian. Lane 6, Ailey Armstrong, East Lothian. Lane 7, Rebecca Augier, South Lanarkshire. Lane 8, Emma Finley, East Lothian, and Lane 9, Charlotte Thompson, Midlothian. So 5 swimmers in this heat from East Lothian. Let's see how they get on.
Well, it's Amber Stevenson of South Ayrshire who is setting the early pace from lane 1, 17-year-old, entered 1:08.6. She's certainly going to have the advantage at the 50 from Rebecca Ogier and Ailey Armstrong.
So Amber, another one of our young swimmers who was down in Sheffield last week at the British Championships, which is a fantastic achievement. Can she hang on down this second 50? She's certainly looking so at the minute. Coming through in lane 6, Ailey Armstrong. The Black Cats of East Lothian stacking in behind, but it's still the South Ayrshire swimmer in lane 1, Amber Stevenson, looking strong. Also coming through is her South Lanarkshire's Rebecca Auger in lane 7. But she's now being swallowed up, and it's going to be incredibly close as they come up to the line. Just lane 3, I think, Lauren Clark of East Lothian. And she does get it, 1:08.31 for Lauren. Second place, lane 5, Iona Wilson. And third place, lane 7, Rebecca Auger, South Lanarkshire. So that race changed its complexion in the last 25 metres. Yeah. A very strong finish from Lauren.
Completely turned around, didn't that? Lauren Clark mainly think it was probably his 200 rather than 100 fly swimmer, and she used that strength in that second half to just come from way back to take that one. So well done, Lauren. Nice swim inside her entry time. And again, we've just got a little pause here. We haven't called the result on that one yet, so let's just hold fire a moment and make sure that everything is okay. Might be about checking times. They take a finish order, and then if the finish order from the electronics is different, they'll have a little bit of an investigation. But I think we're all sorted. So that is our confirmed result now. Lauren Iona taking second. So the East Lothian contingent coming through strongly in the end. 4 of the top 5 spots. But heat 8 now goes. First of our cycle-seeded heats, we've got Holly McGill of Hearts in 0, Nuala Gow of Geary in 1, Jory Horn, City of Glasgow in 2, Melissa Mainwaring of West Lothian in 3, Stella McCarty of City of Glasgow in 4, her teammate Heidi Wren in 5, Alice Mackey of Hearts in 6, Gabriella Lessing of Ren 96 in 7, Elise Cousins of Perth City in 8, Laura Frisell of Hearts in lane 9. So in the centre lanes, Stella McCarty, the 16-year-old from Glasgow, and Heidi Wren, the 15-year-old from Glasgow. They'll be looking to put in good swims to earn good lanes in their respective finals. Nice start, though, in lane 6, Alice Mackey.
She leads down swimmers. 50, 30.41 for Alice. Ahead of Stella in 4, Gabrielle Lessing in 7, and Heidi in 5. Very close. Again, it's the middle lanes, as one would expect now in the seeded heats. And starting to come through is City of Glasgow, Stella McCarty, very strongly down the second 50.
Yeah, she's got maybe half a metre or so on the 3 on her right-hand side. Can she hold them off? I think she certainly can. She's opened up the gap a bit more now and brings it in pretty comfortably. 1:05 dead, so good solid heat swim from her. Just a tad outside her entry time. But she'll be looking to pick it up a bit more tonight. So front runner at the moment for the 16-year-olds. Alice Mackey second and Heidi Wren third.
Heat 9, lane 0, Ailey Robertson, South Ayrshire. Lane 1, Millie Milne, Warren de Bath. Lane 2, Susie McNair from first. Lane 3, Hannah Willis, City of Peterborough. Lane 4, Catherine Bailey, Perth City. Lane 5, Natalie Jones, Warren de Bath. Lane 6, Isabel Wood, Stirling Swim. Lane 7, Eiley Eel, South Aberdeenshire. Lane 8, Thanrada McGregor, Warren de Bath. And lane 9, Anna de Grosser from Best.
So times here 1:04s to 1:08, so expect the centre lanes to dominate. We talked about Catherine Bailey at the beginning of the programme, the swimmer from Perth having a really fine set of swims here. She's certainly in the mix along with Warren does Natalie Jones at halfway, but Isla Yule getting the touch, 30.53.
Yeah, second place for Natalie in 5, 6 and Isabel, but Catherine, as you've said, is coming through in lane 4, better known as a 200 fly swimmer and a distance freestyler, so no surprise to see her coming strong down this second 50, and she's moved into the lead now. Also going well in lane 8, Fenrada McGregor. In 5, teammate Natalie Jones, but it's going to be Catherine Bailey who's going to come under the flags and win heat number 9. Second place, I think, will be in lane 5 for Natalie Jones. And third place coming through City of Peterborough's Hannah Willis. So 105.48 for Catherine. Second place Natalie Jones. And third place for Hannah Willis.
Yeah, I think there's more to come from Catherine tonight in that one with the form that she's been showing this week. 105.48, I think pretty comfortable heat swim for her. So we'll look forward to seeing her again tonight. Final heat of girls 100 butterfly features Chloe Barron of Midlothian in 0, Eve Mayer of South Ayrshire in 1, Amy Watson of Inverclyde in 2, Louisa Stoddart of East Lothian in 3, Drew Mackenzie, City of Glasgow in 4, Scarlett Ferris of Perth City in 5, Helen Stoddart of East Lothian in 6, Orla McInnes of Hearts in 7, Faith Uder of Aberdeen Dolphin in 8, and Holly Simpson of Aberdeen Performance in lane 9.
Yeah, 2 15-year-olds in this heat. Helen in 6, Orla in 7. Orla the winner of the gold in the 200 fly. But going down the first 50, it's the middle lanes. We've got Drew Mackenzie in 4, Scarlett Ferris in 5. And Drew's going to touch first. We've already seen Drew swim an excellent heat this morning. Second place for Scarlett Ferris, third place for Helen Stoddard.
Yeah, so the two in the centre lanes looking good here. Scarlett Ferris in the pink of Dundee, I think now just behind the Glaswegian Drew Mackenzie. We've seen some good swims from her. Also going nicely in lane 2, Amy Watson. We saw her earlier on in the 200 IM, and is she going to edge this? It's going to be tight, but I think it might be Amy on the touch. It is Amy, 105.88, 11 hundredths ahead of Drew Mackenzie, with Eve Mayer taking third place. So Amy Watson having a good morning, the 18-year-old from Inverclyde. We'll be looking forward to seeing her in 2 finals tonight, I think.
You certainly will. The results of that heat there confirmed. Amy Watson in first, Drew Mackenzie in second, Eve Mayer in third. And then we move on to the fastest times this morning. Stella McCarty, 105 dead, ahead of Catherine Bailey in second. We'll just watch those come through now.
So just looking at who are the fastest in each of the age group, Heidi Wren in the 15-year-olds from Helen Stoddart, and the 16-year-old Stella McCarty, unsurprisingly, with that 105 from Alice Mackey and Chloe Barron, and in the 17-18s, Catherine Bailey from Amy Watson and Drew Mackenzie. That's going to be an interesting final, I think. In fact, I think there's a few interesting finals coming up in those ones.
It certainly is. I think tonight's shaping up to be just as exciting as the previous 3 nights, and we've had some cracking races, we really do.
Stay with 100 butterfly, and we move to the boys, and it's going to be an all-Warrant affair in this first heat. 3 swimmers will go, 3 Warrant swimmers will go. Raya Wilson, Josh Stephen and Fabio Farina, all 15-year-olds, so there's some bragging rights at stake in this one. Entry times just around the 110, 109.77 and 110.19. So let's see how this one works out.
10 heats, as we've had with all our events this morning.
So a trip across the M8 to swim against your teammates.
So Rhea Wilson in 3, Josh Stephen in 4, Fabio Farina in 5. All with the red caps of Warrender Baths. And as you would expect, pretty close up the first 50.
So does this spice it up with the fact that you're swimming against your teammates, or would you rather be swimming against other people that you don't swim in training with every day?
I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see 3 quick times compared to their entry times. I think it really does get them going. And it's certainly in lane 4, Josh Stephen. 31.74 for Josh down the first 50, and he leads the way. Second place just behind is Fabio, Ed of Rio in lane 3. Maybe Fabio's coming back down this second 50, and he looks like he might take this. It's going to be very close between the 3 boys, but Fabio definitely finishing the stronger.
Yeah, Rio trying to bring in a late charge here, but it does look like lane 5 just. It is tightening up at the closing stages, but it's going to be Fabio Farina taking the win. 1:08.78. Both Fabio and Josh comfortably inside their entry times. Rio just outside at 1:08.78. Nice way to get us started.
Yeah, nice close swim by the 3 Warrender boys there, setting the standard for the 100 fly as we move on to heat 2.
Line up here, Dan Hall, Aberdeen Performance in 1, Benji Jeffries, South Ayrshire in 2, Aaron Steele of South Lanarkshire in 3, Callum McLaughlin, City of Glasgow in 4, Tom Armitage of Highland in 5, Alex Cumming of North Lanarkshire in 6, Peter Maloney of Inverclyde in 7, and Caden McLaughlin of Scotia in lane 8. City of Glasgow swimmer Callum McLaughlin looking strong in lane 4, taking them out. 2 McLaughlins in the field, Caden in lane 8, I'm sure they're unrelated. Lane 5, Tom Armitage, also in the hunt. Does look like Callum.
Callum touching first, 30.68. Lane 5 next to him, Tom Armitage, and Caden in lane 8 in 3rd place, not just behind, so very close between these boys. Also going well on the far side of the pool, Dan Hall, Aberdeen Performance, battling hard. It's probably this near side. Caden McLaughlin, the Scotia swimmer, starting to come through. Also bringing with him in lane 7, Peter Maloney from Inverclyde.
So a really tight one coming in, but it's going to be lane 1, it looks like. We'll take this one. Nice swim from Dan Hall in the end, taking it by over a second. Really strong there. You can see that split 35.6 against Caden's 37.4. Ben Jeffries also finishing really fast to grab 3rd. So some interesting tactics in that one. Certainly worked for Dan Hall. 1:07.45, a 2-second improvement on his entry time.
Heat 3, lane 0, Alex Black from first. Lane 1, Ewan Mitchell, South Lanarkshire. Lane 2, Rory Webster from Moneyfeith. Lane 3, Cameron Gill from first. Lane 4, Sean Parker, North Lanarkshire. Lane 5, Edward Bell from Seagulls. Lane 6, Fraser Stewart, Step Rock. Lane 7, Jake Cadger from Ithern. Lane 8, Joshua Drainer from Inverleith. And lane 9, Archie Smith, Aberdeen Dolphins. Fastest entry times, lanes 4 and 5, Sean Parker and Edward Bell. Both 1:06.9. We've seen Edward already this morning, swimming very impressively. And he's looking good going up this first leg of the 50 as well.
Yeah, Edward in the dark cap in lane 5, I think is going to take it through the 50. 3 swimmers not far behind him. Sean in 4, Fraser and Jake in 6 and 7, but Edward Bell 29.27. That's quite a bit faster than we've seen in the previous heats.
But they are coming back at Edward. He's certainly not getting this all his own well. It's possibly the swimmer from Ithern, Jake Cadger in 7, who's looking really strong. He's starting to come through, bringing with him in lane 6, Fraser Stewart. Edward's still going well in 5, and it's between these 3 boys. Just on this side of the pool at the minute, Jake Cadger, but coming through in lane 6, Fraser Stewart, and I think Fraser's going to get this one on the touch. And he does, 1:05.73 for Fraser. Second place was Jake Cadger in lane 7, and Edward Bell just fading slightly on the second 50, finishing 3rd in lane 5.
Yeah, lovely second half there from Fraser. Step Rock, that's the St Andrews based team. Step Rock is the outdoor pool in the North Sea, but I don't think they train there anymore. I think they have a very nice indoor pool now to do their work in, and that work paid off well for Fraser Stewart. Taking that one on to heat number 4. Callum Mongan of Aquabears in 0, Ben Smallwood of Kinross in 1, Logan Scally of Aberdeen Performance in 2, Logan van der Merlen of Stirling Swim in 3, Alex Wiseman, City of Stoke in 4, Mano Drysdale of Warrender in 5, Liam Gosinski of Montefieth in 6, Jack Lorimer of Eithon in 7, Ethan Stewart of South Lanarkshire in 8, and Michael Skeckel of Inverleith in lane 9. 105s and 106s the times here.
Very close down the first half of this first length, lane 5. Mano Drysdale, Warren de Bass swimmer, looking very strong. Also going well in lane 6, Liam Kaczynski from Montefieth. That's the 1-2 at the turn. Mano in first place, second in lane 6, Liam Kaczynski. And third in this side of the pool for Jack Lorimer, the swimmer from Eithon in lane 7. Got everything to play for in the second 50.
Yep, 2 swimmers under the 30 at the turn, but as they come back down the pool, it's very hard to call a winner at this stage. Let's just see who is looking strong. Lane 3 is certainly up there, Logan van der Merlen. Lane 0, Callum Mongan of Aquabears. I think it's between these two, and it'll all be about nailing the finish here, and that was done by Callum Mongan. Well, no, it's a tie. Our first dead heat of the morning, 1:04.76 for the pair of them. Could not be separated. Certainly when I was looking across the pool, I couldn't tell them apart, and that's because neither could the electronics. Jack Lorimer taking third, 1:05.62.
Nice to see. It's always good to win a heat, and if 2 of our swimmers can win a heat, then why not? Great to see. Heat number 5, lane 0, Fraser McLaughlin from Elgin. Lane 1, Jack Mitchell, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 2, Jonah Turnbull from Midlothian. Lane 3, Adam Curry, North Ayrshire. Lane 4, Greer van der Meulen, Stirling Swim. Lane 5, Jamie Glenn, North Lanarkshire. Lane 6, Calvin MacDonald, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 7, Kane Buchanan, Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 8, Cameron Mitchell, St Thomas. And lane 9, Ben Montgomery, Stirling Swim.
So we just saw a cracking swim from Logan van der Merlen. Now it's his brother Greer, the older brother, going in lane 4, and he's certainly now in the mix with Jamie Glenn. Saw a terrific swim earlier from Jamie, and he is pushing out. He was good in the 200 free. Now he's leading the way in the 100 butterfly. 27.97 is quite a lot faster than anything we've seen so far, and he leads by 9/10. Can he see it through in the second half?
Certainly Greer next to him in lane 4, his closest competitor at the minute, also going well in lane 3, Adam Curry, but it looks like it's between the main 2 at the minute. Jamie Glenn's holding on, Greer's trying hard, but Jamie is looking strong, the North Lanarkshire swimmer. 1:04.7 is his entry time. Coming through the Midlothian swimmer, Jonah Turnbull in lane 2, but it's going to be a pillar-to-post Jamie Glenn win here in lane 5. 1:03.06 for him. Second place was in lane 2, Jonah Turnbull, with a very strong last 50. Pippin Greer van der Meulen into third place. That's your 1, 2, 3.
So Jamie Glenn can be pretty happy with his morning's work. Great 200 freestyle swim, and now a really nice 100 butterfly swim. Taking that pretty emphatically. Good second half from Jonah to take second rather. There's your Heat 6 swimmers. Ewan McLeod of South Lanarkshire in 0. Owen Williamson of East Lothian in 1. Kyle Mitchell for Geary in 2. David Lamben, City of Glasgow in 3. Bailey McKinley goes in 4 for first. Torrin Liversedge of South Aberdeenshire in 5. James Cowdrey of Highland in 6. John Mackay, Perth City in 7. Lucas Johnson of Aberdeen Performance in 8. And Adam Scott, City of Glasgow in lane 9.
Blue cap of James Cowdrey, Highland swimmer, going well in lane 6. Down the first 50.
Certainly been mentioning Highland got a fair bit over those last 3 days, and they're having a pretty good meet. Not in the top 10, but definitely showing good progression there from right up in the north of Scotland. Yeah,
James leading the way. Second place in lane 8, Lucas Johnson. Coming through now in lane 4, first Bailey McGinley, but it's still the Highland swimmer, James Cowdrey leading the way. Can he hang on?
Yeah, that's the question. Lucas Johnson is pushing him hard in lane 8, and lane 1 now coming up. Owen Williamson, the East Lothian swimmer. This is again going to be one that's decided on the touch. Who nails it? Lucas does. 1:03.13, takes it by 600 from Owen Williamson. Both of them inside their entry times by best part of a second. Just waiting for confirmation of that one though. Really tight finish there. But you have it now. See there, 1300s between the top three.
It's just half a second between the top five. Very close. Heat 7, lane 0, Ross Alexander, South Aberdeenshire. Lane 1, David Smythe, Glenrothes. Lane 2, Joe Carter, Delting. Lane 3, Dylan Cashmore, South Ayrshire. Lane 4, Zach Slater, East Lothian. Lane 5, Lewis Gray, Inverclyde. Lane 6, Luke Porteous, East Lothian. Lane 7, Cameron Shaw from First. Lane 8, Lucas Brown from Elgin. And Lane 9, Robson Miles, City of Glasgow.
Dylan Cashmore setting off well in lane 3. Now Zach Slater, another one who had a good 200 freestyle swim, getting into his stride in lane 4, and beside him in the white cap, Lewis Gray of Inverclyde. Been mentioning them quite a bit in dispatches. That's particularly Amy Watson this morning. 28.46. It's a tie at the halfway mark. Lewis and Zach.
Yeah, the better turn, better underwater from Lewis in lane 5, the Inverclyde swimmer. He's leading at the minute. Zach going well in lane 4. Also there, first Cameron Shaw in lane 7, and going well in lane 1, David Smythe from Glenrothes. But it's still the Inverclyde swimmer, Lewis Gray in lane 5. It looks like he's holding on at the minute. Coming through in lane 3, Dylan Cashmore. Who's going to get the touch? It will be lane 5, Lewis Gray. Lane 7, Cameron Shaw in second place. Third place was Joe Carter. So you 1, 2, 3. There's Lewis Gray. 1:01.69 for Lewis. Second place in lane 7 was Cameron Shaw. And in third place was Joe Carter.
Yeah, nice little improvement for Lewis there. About 6-7 tenths on his entry time. Into the cycle seeded heats, we have in heat number 8, Lewis Austin of Highland in 0, Fergus Woodward of Portobello in 1, Jack Murphy of North Lanarkshire in 2, Kieran Lennox, Aberdeen Performance in 3, then 2 from Aberdeen Dolphins, Tom Robertson and Finley Club, Scott Fleming, South Lanarkshire in 6, Magnus Buller of Shetland in 7, Adam Scott around 96 in 8, and Callum Sinclair of West Lothian in 9. So there might be an Aberdeen flavour to this heat.
Yeah. Tom Robertson leading the way. Final down last week in the British Championships, I think in the 200 from memory, but looking very strong up this first 50. Another one not holding anything back in terms of tonight's final, and he's going to turn in a very quick time. It's that quick, it's not come up on the scoreboard, so we haven't got a scoreboard at the minute, but it's certainly Tom Robertson leading the way from teammate Finley Club. See now is telling us it was a 25-9-1 split there for Tom, and he is absolutely bossing this one. His teammate Finley Club battling for second along with lane 1 Fergus Woodward, but no doubt whatsoever about who's taking that one. 57-17. I mean, that is a class apart from anything that we've seen so far. Really emphatic swim, very close to his 57 dead entry time. So good stuff from Tom there, and Finley making it a Dolphin 1-2 under the minute, 59.67. And Fergus Woodward, a good swim from the Portobello boy, over a second inside his entry time, 1:00.22 for him. But Tom Robertson, that's the swim of the morning, certainly as far as this 100 butterfly is concerned. Certainly so far with 2 heats to go. Youth Academy swimmer Tom. Heat number 9, lane 0, Cian Hampson Bahia from Warren de Baths. Lane 1, Cameron Creaney, North Lanarkshire. Lane 2, Logan Ward, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 3, Travis Davey, Dundee City Aquatics. Then we have 3 Warren de Baths swimmers, Callum Rose in 4, Brodie Gordon Gibson in 5, Finn Brenner in 6. Andrew Brodie, Aberdeen Dolphins in 7. Fraser Claxton, Heart of Midlothian in 8. And James Burnett from Warren de Baths in 9. Had a very strong swim to beat from the previous heat. Callum Rose, 56.41 entry time, looking good up the first 50, and he's going to touch first.
Yep, 26.87 for him, but that's nearly a second behind Tom's split. It does look like it's the Warrender boys taking on the mantle in this one. Callum in lane 4 still has the advantage over Brodie and Finn on his right-hand side. And they're going to be the three. Callum Rose, this is his signature event, so he'll be wanting to put on a good show here, and he brings it in 57.89, so pretty respectable heat swim there, just 7/10 back on what we saw from Tom in the previous heat. Second was Brodie Gordon-Gibson and Finn Bremner completing that Warrender 1-2-3 ahead of Travis Davey. Just wait for confirmation of that. We still wait for confirmation of that. That will come pretty soon. And there you have it. So 57.89 Callum Rose taking heat 9. Final heat then. Jake Gibson of the Broch goes in 0. William Storer of South Aberdeenshire in 1. Finlay Nelson of Dumfries in 2. Evan Davison of Perth City in 3. Stefan Kravitz of East Lothian in 4. Rory Mckinnon of City Glasgow in 5. Conrad Slessor of Aberdeen Performance in 6. 2 more Warrender swimmers. Ben Kelly in 7. Cedar Gullen in 8. And Connor Stewart goes for Sterling Swim in lane 9. Well, we've seen Evan, Stefan and Rory already this morning.
Very close up the first 50. Stefan Kravitz in lane 4 down in 6th place, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him put the burners on. But at the minute, in lane 3, it's Evan Davison from Perth City, going well in lane 6, Conrad Slessor from Aberdeen Performance.
Yep. No signs of this explosive last 50 from Stefan in this one. I think he has we're just wanting to do enough to qualify here, and Evan Davison taking the win in 59.62, so not matching the 57s that we saw in the previous 2 heats. So I think some swimmers keeping their powder dry in that last heat, just the one under the minute. Evan.
A tie for second, Finlay Nelson and Rory Mckinnon, 1:00.22.
They're in different age groups, so that won't give us any risks of a swim off. And there you can see confirmation there. In fact, 3 swimmers there on 1:00.22 from Fergus Woodward as well from the earlier heat. It's the surprise there. Stefan Kravitz only 12th in those heats, but I'm sure it'll be good enough to get him a spot in the final, and then we'll see what he can do there.
Yeah, I think we'll see a much quicker time from him tonight. Moving on to our next event, we're back to sprints and event 405, the 50-metre backstroke for girls. 10 heats again. Starting from this end of the pool.
Yes, if you weren't joining us, we had a bit of a problem with the starting system at the scoreboard dome, which was where we'd normally start the 50s from. So that was not going to be easily repairable quickly, so a pragmatic decision was made to change ends, and for the rest of the meet we've been swimming the 50s from the normal start end.
So, heat 1, lane 0, Ciara Pemble, lane 1, Grace Kellis, lane 2, Charlotte Chadwick, lane 3, Ashley Drake, lane 4, Ailey Galt, lane 5, Erin Curry, lane 6, Alexandra Miller, lane 7, Ayla Kennedy, lane 8, Sophie Gibson, and lane 9, Caitlin Frame. Your swimmers for the first heat of the 50-metre backstroke. Fastest swimmers on entry time, Warren DeBass, Ashley Drake, and Ithers, Ailey Galt and Erin Curry, all in at 34.3. So if we see if we can get under that.
Yeah, just 2/10 separating them on entry time, so don't expect too much separating them. Looks good in lane 3. Ashley Drake of Warrender over in lane 0. Ciara Pemble of Best. But,
yeah, and it looks like it is going to be lane 3. Ashley Drake, the Warren DeBass swimmer. She looks like she's going to take this first heat. It's going to be close in behind, possibly just Charlotte Chadwick, but yes, it is Ashley Drake in first place, 34.11, inside her entry time. Second place was Charlotte Chadwick in lane 2, 34.31, and in third place, lane 5, was Erin Curry. in a time of 34.56. Just wait for that to come through officially. There it is. Ashley Drake, 34.11, your winner, ahead of Charlotte and Kira.
Heat number 2, we've got Heather Stewart, Grace Noonan, Anna McNeil, Victoria Grabowska, Iona Henderson, Natalie Cooper, Casey Drummond, Lucy DeGrossa, Rosie Forster and Caitlin Peebles. 33.9 to 34.2. There was actually more of a spread in that first heat than you might have expected. So we'll see how this one works out.
Not much in it off the start, possibly just this side of the pool in lane 8, Rosie Forster. And on the far side of the pool in lane 1, Grace Noonan, the Bull Guy and Bears Den swimmer. These two lead at the minute.
Yeah, Grace looking good in lane 1, 15-year-old from M&B. It's sometimes slightly misleading with the camera angle, but it does look to me like Grace is going to take this one, and she does. Oh, not stopping the clock though, that coming in as second spot. Now, I would expect that to be changed, but we'll wait and see. Iona Henderson at the moment being credited with the win on 33.47, but we'll see whether an adjusted time gets slotted in for Grace. At the moment she's credited with 33.72 in second place, and then third place Victoria Grabowska, 33.78. So there might just be a little bit of a delay while they discuss and decide what to do about that. I think that's what we're seeing now. It's definitely, certainly from what we could see on the camera and what you could see at home, it was looked like Grace Noonan, the Mulgine Bears swimmer, and that has been corrected. You see there, 32.94 for Grace, given her rightful place. Don't worry about those 2 1s there. It was Grace 1 and Iona 2. So our officials on the ball there, sorting that one out.
Heat 3, lane 0, Simone Finlayson. Lane 1, Katie Barron. Lane 2, Lauren Anderson. Lane 3, Mia McLeod. Lane 4, Safrina Machin. Lane 5, Remy Muirhead. Lane 6, Brooke Rogerson. Lane 7, Abby Mafrikakis. Lane 8, Amber Edgerton. And lane 9, Melissa Turnbull. 33.61, the fastest entry time here. Safrina Machin, City of Glasgow.
Again, this one looks as if it's going to be really, really tight. It's hard to call a winner at the moment. Mia McLeod maybe just edging it, or maybe it's lane 6, Brooke Rogerson, or maybe it's any of them pretty much. What do you think, John?
Brooke Rogerson in 6 going well, right under here. Melissa Turnbull in 9 going well, but I think it's lane 6. It's the far side of the pool actually. The 4th one down, Mia McLeod in 3. And Mia's going to get it from swim 8. 32.38 for Mia. Second place lane 5 for Remy Muirhead, and in third place in lane 6 was Brooke Rogerson.
Yeah, Mia's always been a good sprinter, and that was a good PB from her. Well over a second inside her entry time. But again, they're just taking a little while to confirm the result. Didn't see a particular problem with that, but
no, I think Mia was the clear winner. Very strong second half of the race for the swimmer. 32.38. I'd be surprised if that got changed.
Maybe it was bad touch for somebody lower down in the field, because you want to make sure you get the most accurate time possible for all 10 swimmers. But Mia McLeod, I think 32.38, she's going to be highly pleased with that. Swim it based in West Lothian. Yeah, thriving with them. Well, this is taking a while.
It certainly is. We did have 1 or 2 challenges yesterday with backup buttons, and the 50s in particular, it's important to get the right times for our swimmers.
At the moment, Remy Muirhead credited with second, 32.93, and Brooke Rogerson, 33.06 in third. Those 3 quite a bit faster than any others. Safrina Machin fourth, a second back on that, but here we go. There's the result, and I think it's as you were. Don't see any changes there.
No, Mia bringing it home, 32.38 in first place.
fourth heat. And in this one, we've got Cheshire Elgin in 0. In fact, Kira Hart, I think this might have been reseeded a bit. Kira Hart in 0, Zuzia Smith in 1, Katie Campbell in 2, Jocelyn Mackenzie in 3, Libby Doubleday in 4, Sarah Stewart in 5, Talia Blackley in 6, Hannah Anderson in 7, Taylor Smith in 8, Orla Miles in lane 9.
All are going well in lane 9, Swimmer in lane 4, Libby Doubleday, lane 3, Jocelyn Mackenzie. They're going to be the first 3, I think. It's going to be Libby Doubleday touches first. Well, I thought it was Libby Doubleday touches first. Again, we seem to have some times not come through.
Oh, that's the last thing we want to see, isn't it? If we get problems at this end on the 50s as well.
I do think it was City of Glasgow's Libby Doubleday that touched first. And we'll just have to wait for the scoreboard to sort that one out, because she doesn't have a time at the minute.
Yeah, so the scoreboard in the venue here is just showing a reaction time for Libby, but no finish time, and the same for Talia Blackley and Katie Campbell. So, yeah, just 1 or 2 little issues cropping up here this morning. Hopefully, we'll get through them quickly. But you can see a time slotted in for Katie Campbell now, and now we've got time for Libby.
52.54, yeah, the fastest time is Libby's, 52.54.
So
confirm that for you in a minute, if we can, but Libby Doubleday definitely won that heat.
Yeah, not quite sure what's happening. That's just the lineup again, not showing any times against it. But we did get times briefly in the system. Sorry, we weren't able to show you the final summary, but I think we move on now to heat 5. So in heat 5, got Alex Coy, Perry Scobby, Rona Anderson, Kirsty Gilmore, Rebecca Cole, Rosie Liston, Chloe McLean, Naomi Wilson, Bethany Irvin and Bronwyn Payne. All pretty tight going through the halfway point.
On this side of the pool, Bronwyn Payne going well in lane 9. Also going well in lane 3. Kirsty Gilmore from South Lanarkshire. I think it's Kirsty who's leading this one. She's going to bring this one home. 32.77 for Kirsty. Second place for Rosie Liston in lane 5. Third place for Chloe McLean in lane 6.
Again, just on the scoreboard, we're missing a couple of times. Different lanes this time, 0 and 8. So they're getting slotted in now. So just having some slight wobbles with the electronics. Because it might be that they didn't touch well, but that would be a surprise for swimmers of this level of experience. But I think you're certainly right. Kirsty Gilmore taking the win there, 32.77 for her.
Rosie Liston in second place, 33.56. Chloe McLean third, 33.59 is your 1, 2, 3 from heat 5.
Again, hopefully we'll be able to bring that up as a confirmed result for you shortly. But yeah, just not running quite as smoothly as I'm sure the organisers would like at the moment. But we'll battle our way through it and carry on. It's day 4. Everyone's starting to get slightly tired. I'm certainly seeing some evidence that swimmers are starting to get tired before they meet. They won't have experienced this for, unless you went to the British Championships, which a few of these did. This long meets like this is new territory for a good proportion of these swimmers, I think, after lockdown.
Yeah, and as we've said before, the first snags in 3 years. So for so many of our swimmers, particularly this afternoon, the first time they've been to an event of this stature. But we are going to move on. Heat number 6, lane 0, Alison Wood from Highland. Lane 1, Emma Leggett from South Lanarkshire. Lane 2, Grace Courtney, East Lothian. Lane 3, Lucy McPartland, Perth City. Lane 4, Natalie Jones, Warren DeBass. Lane 5, Layla Todd Lerwick. Lane 6, Millie MacArthur, South Lanarkshire. Lane 7, Rose McLean, Perth City. Lane 8, Elise Kendall Corby. And lane 9, Lindsay Cameron from Dumfries.
So the times here, 32.8 to 33.1. So again, about a 3/10 spread. And just starting to edge it now, Natalie Jones in lane 4, ahead of Perth's Lucy McPartland. They look like the 1-2 coming down towards the final 5.
And it will be, I think, yeah. Natalie Jones touches first, 31.54. Second place for Lucy McPartland, 32.25. Coming through for third in lane 1, Emma Leggett, 32.98.
So good PBs from our 1-2 swimmers there, Natalie and Lucy. Natalie taking a 32.8 down to a 31.5. So she'll be happy with that. That's the fastest so far. Heat number 7. So we still wait for confirmation of that result. So there you have it. All fairly straightforward, I think, that time. Heat 7, Sophie Hall in 0, Ashley Merson in 1, Erin Hammond in 2, Chloe Barron in 3, Emma Mcgavin in 4, Jessica Beaton in 5, Natalie Marshall in 6, Anna Easton in 7, Lucy Atherton in 8, Kerry Gillespie in 9, 32.4 to 32.8. The entry times here, so 31.54, fastest so far. Can any of these swimmers get down into that territory?
So the best underwater work there in lane 5 from Jessica Beaton, Aberdeen Dolphins. She's leading the way. Going well in lane 6, Natalie Marshall, West Lothian. But it's still, after that good start, Jessica Beaton, but the field is starting to close in. Lane 4, Emma Mcgavin, South Lanarkshire swimmer. It's going to be very close, this one.
Yeah, it looks like Emma might just be edging it now. There's a 3-way contest for second. Oh, Chloe Barron they're showing, but again, no time coming up for lane 4, so I think we're going to have to wait for that one, because certainly to the eye, that was Emma McGavin's race. So just once again, these problems just continuing here. 32.4 Emma's entry time. It was an impressive opening push-off from Jessica Beaton, but just at the end, I think Emma just had that speed in the second half. She's now has been credited with the win, 32.17 from Chloe Barron, 32.27. Very nice latter stages to her race. And in third place, I think it's going to be Natalie Marshall, 32.34. We'll wait just to see that confirmed. I hope we will see that confirmed. We'll have the 3 cycle-seeded heats coming after this, and we've got some real backstroke stars to come in these next 3 heats, so really looking forward to seeing them. But first we've got to just sort this last result out. So if it is what's showing on the venue scoreboard at the moment, 32.17 Emma Mcgavin, it will mean that going into the cycle-seeded heats, Natalie Jones will have the fastest time, 31.54. There we go. It's up for you, and you see very tight in the top few positions. And we can move on.
Heat number 8, lane 0, Natalie Bruce. Lane 1, Martha Reeves. Lane 2, Amber Stevenson. Lane 3, Katie Rose. Lane 4, Anna Green. Lane 5, Kira Sterica. Lane 6, Millie Milne. Lane 7, Isabella Abernethy. Lane 8, Holly Lumsden. And lane 9, Hebe Weavers. Middle lanes 4 and 5, 2 seeded swimmers. Anna Green in 4, Kira Sterica in 5. Not surprisingly, fighting this one out. Right on the touch. Just goes to Anna Green. 29.85, although I do think Kira Sterica's time 30.97. I do think she was a lot closer to Anna. We'll wait and see again.
Yeah, that certainly looked like she was much faster than that. She's no way she was a second behind Anna Green there, pretty much together.
Again, there's a delay, which we apologise for. Certainly the electronics are more tired than any of the swimmers, judging by this morning's performance so far. But I do think you'll see Kira Sterika's time in lane 5 reduced.
She's in the right position, 39.7, but no, it's on the scoreboard here, 30.13 on the venue scoreboard. So hopefully we'll see that come through now as her confirmed time in lane 5 in second spot, inside her entry time. And there you have it. Katie Rose in third, 31.32. But 29.85, that's our new fastest time, 2 heats to go. And in heat 9, Catherine Simpson, Emily Cumming, Chloe Bown, Catriona Stewart, Katie Shanahan, Melissa Main-Waring, Ella Stevenson, Faith Yuda, Zoe Crawford and Elise Cousins. So Katie Shanahan, for course, the 200 is her main event in backstroke. Obviously a very fine IMer as well. At 29.4 is her entry time here, so can she get inside the 29.85 that we just saw from Anna Green? Certainly leading it off, and leading it off pretty impressively. So this really is a bit of a test of her practice of her final end, I guess, in her 200 backstroke, really to sort of push on. And this is going to be a pretty fast time for Katie. 29.25, so that really does make a statement inside her 29.4 entry time.
Second place for Melissa Mainwaring in lane 5. Third place for Ella Stevenson in lane 6, but very impressive from Katie. And for people watching the start of the underwater work, she was away right from the start and just increased her lead all the way down the 50.
Yeah, great technician. Great worker, great endurance athlete as well from her 400 IMs. And you can see there she can turn the speed on when she wants to.
Our final heat, heat 10, lane 0, Emma Finley, East Lothian, lane 1, Amy Heron, Tynemouth, lane 2, Fern Crichton, Perth City, lane 3, Lucy Stowes, Dundee City Aquatics, lane 5, Scarlett Ferris, Perth City, lane 5, Hannah Willis, City of Peterborough, in 6, Isla Ewell, South Aberdeenshire, in 7, Maria Howe, Aberdeen Performance, Heidi Wren goes in 8th, City of Glasgow, and Maya Reynard, Aberdeen Dolphins in lane 9. So 2 middle lanes this time, Scarlett Ferris in 4, Hannah Willis in 5. Scarlett with the best start, Hannah chasing her down, but a lot closer than the previous heat. Also going well in lane 3, Lucy Stowes, Dundee City Aquatic Swimmer, but it is the 2 middle lanes. Scarlett in 4, Hannah in 5. Looks like they're going to be the 1-2. Lucy Stowes in 3rd place in lane 3 for DCA. But it is Scarlett Ferris, 30.38, takes that heat. 2nd place for Hannah Willis in 5. And 3rd place in 3 was Lucy Stowes. That's your 1-2-3. But the fastest time set in the previous heat.
So 30.38. Entered on a 29, so Scarlett will be looking to go quite a bit faster this evening, but that certainly will have got her into the 17-18 final, which is going to be a pretty hot final. I think Anna Green, Katie Shanahan, Scarlett Ferris and others. So that's one to look forward to tonight.
Yeah, we hope Katie comes back for the final. She's had a very busy schedule recently, and she's been very swimming in the relays this week for Glasgow, but I think this was her first individual event from memory. But it's great to see her here and in fine form.
So from 50 backstroke we move to something rather different as we see the summary now. Katie Shannon confirmed as the fastest qualifier for tonight's finals. It'll be 400 individual medley coming up now, and we're going to have 5 heats of that. Just as that, we see the summary there. Just go through who the top 3 in each of the age groups. So Heidi Wren, Maria Howe and Emma Mcgavin lead the way for the 15-year-olds. The 16-year-olds, Melissa Main-Waring, Lucy Stowes and Katie Rose. Well, pretty tight there. That can be quite a close one, I think, tonight. And then Katie Shannon, Anna Green, Kira Sterika that swim from outside the three-seeded heats from Natalie Jones, earning her 6th spot. And I think we might be in swim-off territory with the 17-18s. We've got a joint 10th, Amber Stevenson and Millie Milne, so I'm sure that the coaches, Byron Starricker and Laurel Bailey, respectively, will be called to decide what to do on that, and most likely a swim-off, you would think.
Yeah, we had one yesterday, an incredible swim-off where, I can't remember the names, I think it was in the 53. He was swimming off for a place as first reserve, and the time was a second faster than it was in the heat, which would have put them second into the final. Wow.
And then they didn't get to swim in the final. How tough is that?
They got a nice PB out of it.
So here we go with the first heat of the 400 individual medley. And we've got an empty lane in lane 2. The lineup of the swimmers who are there: Liam Kozinski of Montefieth in 0, Luke Garrity of Inverclyde in 1, Lewis Muir of Carnegie in 3, Fraser Stewart of Steprock in 4, Tom Armitage of Highland in 5, Nathan Wilson of Carnegie in 6, 2 from Aberdeen Performance, Ben Payton in 7, Logan Scally in 8, and Peter Maloney goes for Inverclyde in lane 9.
So the Step Rock swimmer in lane 4, Fraser Stewart leading the way, 31.09 down the first 50. Also going well in the outside lane, Liam Gaczynski, Montefieth in lane 0.
Yeah, we talked about Fraser in the 100 fly, so perhaps no surprise that he is pushing off strongly here in the fly leg of the individual medley. 1:09.18 for him as they go to backstroke. Leads by a second from Liam Kozinski, the Montefieth swimmer, so can look at each other over the Tay from St Andrews to Montefieth.
Near side of the pool, 3rd and 4th, Logan Scally in 8, Ben Payton in 7. Training partners at Aberdeen Performance, very closely matched on paper. But a long way to go in the IM, particularly the 400. First time we've seen the boys in action this week in the individual medley. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. Clearly on the longer event, the breaststroke plays even more of a factor. But at the minute, on the backstroke, Liam Gaczynski has caught up and passed Fraser. 1:50.38, 40.21 that split for Liam. And these two have a healthy lead over the 3rd place swimmer.
Yeah, barring a dramatic breaststroke, it looks like a two-way affair. You never know. Because they've got a 100 breaststroke, they can make up quite a lot of ground in that. So keep your eyes on Tom Armitage in 5 maybe, and Luke Garrity. Luke Garrity's certainly a breaststroker going in lane 1, so he's in 4th place. He could make a move, but it's Liam, the Montefieth swimmer, by a fair margin now. Certainly showing good backstroke skills there to open up a 3.5 second gap on Fraser.
Yeah, Fraser still in 2nd place, coming through into 3rd is Tom Armitage from Highland. As you mentioned earlier, the Highland team going well, and he looks like he's got a very good breaststroke, so it wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't right there with 100 to go. Liam Gaczynski in the outside lane, the Montefieth swimmer. All our swimmers in this heat, 15. So still very young, still learning this event. They won't have swam this very often, particularly not given the challenges we've all had over the last couple of years or so. So it'll be interesting to see how this race turns out. And as you rightly said, Luke Garrity in lane 1, the Inverclyde swimmer, coming strongly on the breaststroke.
So halfway through the breaststroke, still a 2-second lead for Liam. Fraser Stewart holding on to 2nd, but Tom Armitage and Luke Garrity are making moves to try and claw that down. Maybe particularly now Luke Garrity in lane 1. But still a good lead for Liam. He's not really being threatened at this stage. Good all-round swimmer from Montefieth, showing good skills across the lineup. His entry time came from the Festival of Swimming last year, so certainly we'll be looking to improve on that, 9 months or so down the road. So 4:01.33. Let's see what his lead is now. It's up to 5 seconds, so Really good breaststroke there from Liam.
Yeah, he was quick down that second leg, 45.53 for that second leg. Only one other swimmer was faster, which was Luke Garrity in lane 1. And that's enabled Luke to come through into second place, but he's got a lot to do to catch Liam, but he is starting to. Then we've got the two middle lanes, Fraser Stewart in 4, Tom Armitage in 5, but Liam is starting to tie up a little bit.
Yeah, it does look like the efforts he's put into the first 3 strokes just paying a toll on his freestyle, getting some encouragement from a teammate there on the pool side, and that might help him because his lead has been cut in half by Luke Garrity, and Fraser Stewart coming back strongly as well. So, well, it looked like a 2-way affair. It's now a 3-way affair, and Luke Garrity perhaps the one who could just come through and take this one.
It looks that way. Liam fighting hard, but Luke's gone past him, also finishing strongly in lane 5, Tom Armitage, but this is going to be a great back-end swim by Luke Garrity of Inverclyde, and he does take it, 5:16.51. What a great back-end from him. A very brave attempt, and it's unfortunate there's going to be a disqualification coming through, and it is lane 0, I'm afraid. A technical infraction there showing up.
Yes, that's unfortunate there for Liam after such a gutsy swim. I'm not sure what it was, but...
second place will therefore be Fraser Stewart, and third place will be Tom Armitage. But no doubting our winner, and a very strong second half of the race from Inverclyde's Luke Garrity. And there we have confirmation, 5:16.51. Fraser Stewart did finish in second, ahead of Tom Armitage in third.
So we move on to heat number 2. Again, we've got an empty lane. This time it's lane 9. Not a great surprise as we get well through these championships. A few aches and pains, perhaps some swimmers deciding, particularly for a 400 IM, is maybe just not wise. So the lineup of the 9 that we've got: Taylor Sinclair of Elgin in 0, Max Pelosi, City of Glasgow in 1, Roy Mckinnon of North Lanarkshire in 2, Sean Sy Griffiths of Warrender in 3, Thomas Traynor of South Lanarkshire in 4, James Boddy of Geary in 5, Tom Ingalls, City of Glasgow in 6, Ben Montgomery of Stirling Swim in 7, Harry Keogh of Ren 96 in lane 8. James Boddy in lane 5 with the edge early on, but it's the 3 in the centre lanes making the early running.
Red cap in lane 3, Sean Sy Griffiths starting to come through. 16-year-old representing Warren de Baths. Also starting to come through is Max Pelosi, City of Glasgow in lane 1. And in lane 5, James Boddy from Geary still. And it's going to be between James and Sean as we come to that first touch. 1:08.34, so about 0.8 faster than the previous heat. Third place for Thomas Traynor in lane 4, ahead of Max Pelosi in 1, but very close as they move on to the backstroke.
Yep, in the backstroke, it's still the 3 in the centre lanes. Next best, Max Pelosi, as you said, John, and then a bit of a gap to Roy Mckinnon, Taylor Sinclair in lanes 2 and 0. But well, the 3 of them maybe just been very aware of each other there in the centre lanes, and Sean Sy Griffiths getting the touch there, although it looked to me like James Boddy had turned first, but coming out of the turn it certainly is Sean in the red cap, just but still really the 3 of them to all intents and purposes side by side. So again, this is, I think, going to be decided by whoever is the strongest breaststroke free. You can see them coming towards us.
Yeah, Sean looking very, very calm, very smooth, trying to conserve as much energy as possible. Moving on to the breaststroke leg, and he's going to turn first, ahead of Thomas. And then James in lane 5, and 2:27.45.
So lead them nearly a second. But that doesn't amount to that much. When we get to the breaststroke, and certainly it looks like Thomas Traynor is pushing on well here. He will be trying to go past Sean and open up a gap. See if any of the others can bridge the gap. Max Pelosi having a go in lane 1. That's the one who's most likely to try and get close to the top 3.
Thomas certainly looks the most accomplished breaststroker of the top 3, and that's reflected in that time, 42.63, about 3 seconds faster than Sean, 2 seconds faster than James, and it was the fastest leg. Max was 43, but he's closing in on the other 2, but certainly this now does look like Thomas Traynor, South Lanarkshire swimmer, really pushing this forward, and he's going to have a big gap going into the last 100.
So classic individual medley age group performance here, breaststroke, so important, and he's set himself up to be in a very strong position when they go into the freestyle. See a long stretching stroke, 3:55.30, about 6 seconds faster than the previous heat as we go into the final 100, and an advantage of 5 seconds. So that's a big ask. You can see Max Pelosi has got himself right up there with the 2 in lanes 3 and 5. He's now just, I think, moving in, well, if not second, he's very close to it.
Yeah, so it looks like Max in second now, ahead of James in third, and Sean's just starting to drop back a little bit. But there's no stopping our leader, Thomas Traynor, 5:10.80 his entry time. He's looking to be comfortably inside that, I think, at the minute. James coming back through for second. The Geary swimmer in lane 5, and Max in third. But Thomas looks like he's that breaststroke leg has really helped put this one to bed for him. The race is on for second, but it looks like James is going to do that in lane 5, the Geary swimmer. Although Max has got something to say about that, and he's fighting back in lane 1.
Yeah, so they're all picking up the pace now in these last stages. Sean Griffiths trying to get involved as well, but Thomas Traynor well clear of that scrap for second, 5:06.20 for him. 4.5 seconds inside his entry time. Who gets second? Max Pelosi does. And then just 1/100th between James Body and Sean Griffiths. So you swim for over 5 minutes. You can only be separated by 1/100th of a second. So some good swims there. 5:10s and 5:11s for second, third and fourth. They're all inside their entry times. But the star of the show in that one, Thomas Traynor, 5:06.20.
Unfortunately, there was disqualification in that heat, lane 2 for a technical infraction. Doesn't affect the first 3, or indeed the first 4.
So that's now been confirmed with that DQ. Thomas Traynor then setting the standard for the next heat, and these entry times here straddle Thomas's time, so fastest 5:03 down to 5:09.
Lane 0, Robbie Carlisle, North Lanarkshire. Lane 1, Ryan Broadley from Brock. Lane 2, Ewan Jones, West Lothian. Lane 3, Jack Mitchell, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 4, Fraser Tetlow from Geary. Lane 5, Guy Pelosi, City of Glasgow. Lane 6, Calvin MacDonald, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 7, Oliver Cartwright, City of Glasgow. Lane 8, Owen Williamson, East Lothian. And Lane 9, Fraser McIntosh, South Lanarkshire.
Not a lot in it as they come up to the 50. See who gets the touch. Owen Williamson does in lane 8, down near the bottom of your screen, the black cap. But, only by a 10th from Fraser Tetlow in the yellow. And also up there in lane 6, Calvin MacDonald. We've got Guy Pelosi going in this one, Max's twin brother. And he's in lane 5. So he'll have watched what his brother was doing and want to emulate or improve on it. Ryan Broadley in the mix over in lane 1 for Brock. And it's going to be the East Lothian swimmer Owen Williamson leading them through 1:05.10. That's a fair bit faster a fly 100 than we've seen from the previous 2 heats. He leads by 1.4 at the 100 from Ryan.
Third place in lane 6, Calvin MacDonald. Fraser Tetlow in lane 4 in 4th. Moving on to the backstroke. So we are spread right across the pool here. Our leader in lane 8, Owen Williamson. Black cap, East Lothian swimmer. Second place, I think, now in lane 6, Calvin MacDonald. White cap, Aberdeen Performance. Brock's Ryan Broadley in lane 1 in third place. And Owen just building on that, just had the fastest first leg of the backstroke, just ahead of Calvin, so no surprise to see these two start to pull away a little bit. And certainly this field is a little bit wider spread than we saw in the last heat. That could change on the breaststroke, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it gives a different flavour to the race, doesn't it, when your nearest competitors are nowhere near you in the pool. But Owen Williamson, probably not renowned for breaststroke, so we'll see whether he can hold on to this pretty healthy lead that he's got. He's up by 4 seconds on Calvin, and Ryan just a bit further behind, but I suspect that they'll come back at Owen in this 100. We'll try and stop that from happening, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to.
You can already see that swimmer in lane 6, Calvin MacDonald, already eating into that lead, as is the swimmer in lane 1, Ryan Broadley. Also coming through now in the yellow cap of Geary is Fraser Tetlow in 4. And we know he has a strong freestyle at the end of the race as well. But that lead, I'm afraid, has gone in the first 50, and it's Calvin who's taking over. Some 4.5 seconds faster than Owen up that first 50 of the breaststroke leg.
But look at that split for Fraser Tetlow, 41.7. So he could continue to make good progress in the second half if he can maintain that pace. But Calvin now will be the one in the white cap, will be trying to build a solid lead to take to the freestyle. Owen, it's a question of, I guess, trying to hang on and maybe give himself a chance to come back in the freestyle. Pretty handy freestyler, so he's not out of this by any means. Because close up for Calvin, sporting the University of Aberdeen Performance team colours, 3:51.33, 4 seconds faster than the previous heat. Fraser Tetlow's second, Ryan Broadley third, Owen Williamson fourth. And Owen certainly will be happy to have done with the breaststroke. Now we're trying to claw things back in the freestyle, but Calvin's in a strong position here.
He certainly is, and he didn't really lose any time on that second leg of breaststroke to Fraser looking at the splits. That's enabled him to take quite a nice lead into this the freestyle leg. But look at Owen coming back in lane 8. He's right him off. Certainly Calvin's going to turn first ahead of Fraser. Owen back up into third place, so it's a brave swim from him.
Yeah, he's got a mountain to climb to get anywhere close to Calvin, though.
He certainly does. And it looks like this one's going to go to the way of Aberdeen Performance's Calvin MacDonald. 16, entry time 5:04.55. The race is on for second, though. Fraser Tetlow holding off Owen Williamson. Ryan Broadley in lane 1, still not out of it.
Can Calvin get under the 5 minutes? I think maybe not quite, but a good effort, certainly inside his entry time, 5:01.55. Fraser Tetlow just holding off Owen Williamson for second, 5:03.50, and Owen Williamson 5:04.12. Good PB for Owen. If he can work on that breaststroke, he could become a very good IM, I would think. But certainly some work to do on the breaststroke for Owen. But well done to Calvin, taking the win, 5:01 for him, 5:01.55 to be precise. And there is confirmation of that. Into the 2 cycle seated heats now. Just looking down the line, and I think we're maybe missing a swimmer again, are we? Or maybe missing 2 swimmers here. No lane 0 and no lane 3. So the lineup here, Carl Mitchell in 1 for Geary, Nathan Campbell a stunning swim in 2, Robert Burgess, City Glasgow in 4, Luke Hornsey of East Lothian in 5, Finlay Davis of Midlothian in 6, Owen Carroll of Perth City in 7, James Burnett of Warrender in 8, and Kai Connolly goes for City of Glasgow in lane 9.
Fastest entry time, Robert Burgess, City of Glasgow, 4:43.48.
Saw a fantastic 200 backstroke from Robert, so I think he'll be pretty strong in the first half of this. Good IMA though, so not really any major weaknesses across the 4 strokes. Luke Hornsey will also be one to keep an eye on. Very strong freestyler, good breaststroker as well. So if he's in contention at halfway, he'll be one to watch.
Nathan Campbell going well at the minute. Sterling swimming, lane 2. Still Robert leading the way. Nathan in second, but you would expect on this second 100, Robert will start to pull away a little bit.
So 1:03.68 for him. At the end of the butterfly, half a second of an advantage. Lane 2, Nathan Campbell of Sterling has certainly started well, and it's pretty close for third. Hornsey, James Burnett, and also up in lane 1, Kyle Mitchell. But as predicted, Robert is starting to open the gap up. It's up to a body length now. So we'll see the pace. See 37.3 there, a second faster than Nathan and the others as well, with the exception of Finley Davis, who's in 5th place, has put together a strong first half to his backstroke. There in the green cap in lane 6, and now in the group of 3 contesting third. But it's Burgess and Campbell still 1 and 2 as we come to halfway.
Yeah, and Robert looking very smooth coming under the flags. Second place still Nathan Campbell, so the positions didn't change too much in this one. We have seen the emergence of Finley Davis, a Midlothian swimmer, into the pack, so to speak, but 2:18.04 for Robert, nearly 2 seconds faster than the previous heat. Second place still for Nathan Campbell. Third place, Luke Hornsey in 5. We know Luke's got a very strong second half to the race, so we expect him to come through. But at the minute, Robert looks very strong down this first leg of breaststroke, and if anything, he's increasing his lead. Second place still Nathan Campbell in lane 2, but it's Luke Hornsey in 5, Finley Davis in 6, starting to put pressure on that second spot.
Yeah, so Robert Burgess, entry time 4:43, a pretty recent time done in this pool at the West District pre-snags meet. So let's see whether he can improve on that. Look at that, 39.7 for the first half, and that is 2 seconds faster than Luke Hornsey's split. That, to me, is a little bit of a surprise that he's extending his lead here. And I said he was a good all-rounder, and he's certainly demonstrating that here. No weaknesses at all. He was strong in the fly, very strong in the backstroke, strong now in the breaststroke, and don't expect him to weaken in the freestyle either. So this one is looking really good for Robert. He goes in the 17-18 age group. Luke will be in the 16s, and he's still in a contest for second place with Finley Davis, who's also in the 16 age group, and Nathan Campbell is a year older. Robert Burgess dominating now.
Yeah, and only a heat swim as well, Duncan, so as we've seen before, not holding back. He might do down this second 50, but as things stand at the minute, it's been a very impressive morning's work for Robert. Second place Luke Hornsey, East Lothian swimmer, black cap, as we know, very strong in the distance events. But Robert just easing his way down, 33.42, so still another very impressive split. With just 25 metres to go now, he's going to be comfortably the fastest that we've seen so far, and he's going to set the standard for the last heat.
And we talked about the Glasgow swimmers pushing it hard in the heats, and certainly seeing that now. So let's see if he can match his 4:43 entry time. I think it's just going to be slightly off it, but a really solid performance from the heats, and expect him maybe to take some time off that tonight. 4:44.91. I think he probably did just ease back, because you see there that 29.9 from Luke against a 32.6. So no sprint finish from Robert. It definitely was from Luke, coming in at a 4:50. He was about 3 seconds away. Fortunately, again, it looks like we've got another disqualification coming through, and he's lane 2, Nathan Campbell. That's a shame after a strong swim from him. So unfortunately, he'll be out, assuming that that is confirmed, and it is. So Finley Davis taking third spot there, 4:56. They're the three that get under 5 minutes, but Robert Burgess dominant there.
So our final heat, heat 5, lane 0, Greg Hall, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 1, Sam Harrison, Perth City. Lane 2, Archie Dixon, City of Glasgow. Lane 3, John Taylor, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 4, Andrew Bertoli, City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Matthew Macmillan from Incas. Lane 6, Mcgavin Blurt, Warren de Baths. Lane 7, Ben McLaughlin from Geary. Lane 8, Jacob Wood from Elgin. And lane 9, Jake Holmes, City of Glasgow.
So it's Matthew Macmillan, very much a fly specialist, leading this one out. Be a surprise if he was able to stay ahead of Andrew Bertoli through this race. Andrew's been very, very strong throughout in different strokes. Had a cracking battle with Robert Burgess in the 200 backstroke last night. Robert just came out on top in that one. I think that's the only time Andrew's been beaten so far this week, and he'll not, I think, want to be beaten in this 400 IM. He was in the what they call the Paris Potential Final last week in Sheffield, did a 4:29 there, second in that final. That was judged, I suppose, the under 21-year-olds, is it? I think that we're in that, two swimmers that we think have potential possibly to make the Olympic team, but still in sort of development mode.
Yeah, he's been great all week, 4 gold medals, and I'm sure he'll be adding to that tally tonight. And he looks to ease his way into the final in the middle lane, but Matthew Macmillan very strong down the first 100. Incas swimmer, 102.50 for him, which is the fastest split we've seen so far, even faster than Robert's split in the previous heat. Second place for Andrew, third place for John Taylor. We know John's got bags of stamina, Aberdeen Performance Squad member, medalist in the 1500 metres yesterday. But as we can see, Andrew's starting to ease his way past Matthew now. Very long, smooth backstroke. Matthew working hard to stay with him. John Taylor in third place. On this side of the pool, Elgin's Jacob Wood in fourth place, going well on the backstroke. But for Andrew, this is all about qualification for tonight.
So here they come. See the two of them coming through to backstroke to breaststroke turn. 2:20.66 for Andrew, 2:21.49 for Matthew. So not as fast now as we saw from Robert Burgess. Breaststroke. See whether that changes things. You can see across the pool there's other swimmers not too far away. John Taylor we talked about going nicely in lane 3. Lane 8 there, Jacob Wood of Elgin, and 6 is the Warrender swimmer Michael van Bluck. He's a strong breaststroker, so he could make some ground here. And lane 2, excuse me, Archie Dixon, City of Glasgow. Matthew Macmillan hanging in there.
He certainly is. He's working really hard. You look at the difference in the two strokes. Andrew very long, but Matthew working really hard and just staying with him, just staying on his feet. And the gap hasn't really increased at all. John Taylor still in third place in lane 3. As you said last night, the medalist from the 100 breast, I think it was, Warren de Baths, Micah van Blerk starting to come through on the breaststroke leg into fourth. But Andrew looking very, very assured in the first place. And but fair play to Matthew. He's worked really hard on that breaststroke leg to stay with him, and everything to play for with 100 metres to go.
So 3:44.60. So not anywhere close really to Robert Burgess's pace at this stage, nearly 6 seconds back on it. So, as you said, John, I think this is Andrew just doing what is required. And that certainly can't be said to be the case for Matthew. He's in the 16 age group, and well, I think he'll be gunning maybe for gold in that 16 age group, because he is really working this, because we saw the time from Luke Hornsey in the previous heat, 4:50.89. So we'll just see whether Matthew is anywhere close to that. We'd have to come back in a 30 point to match that. 33 there. He's certainly going to be well up in contention in the 16-year-old final, but Well, Luke just easing his way down. Look at that easy stroke. Makes it look such a simple sport, doesn't he?
Absolutely, he's a joy to watch. As we said before, one of Scotland's finest young swimmers. Great talent for the future. John Taylor just coming through. Might even take a cheeky win in the heat, but Andrew won't be too worried about that. John gets it 30.29 down the last 54, 52.4. But Andrew won't be worried. He'll be still be in the middle lane tonight for the final, or one of the middle lanes. Matthew, a great swim from Matthew. Worked really hard all the way through. In third place, and there should be some really good finals tonight. Luke Hornsey versus Matthew McMillan will be close, and I think we'll have another good battle between Robert Burgess. I think we'll make Andrew swim a lot faster than he did this morning for sure.
Yep, so confirmation of that heat. Unfortunately, another disqualification. They've grumpy lot of officials this morning in the IM. There's been a few DQs in that, but unfortunately it was Greg Hall this time from lane 0 who falls out. So from 400 individual medley, we go back to the girls, and it is 800 freestyle. So this is a heat declared winner event. Medals will be decided this morning, and there's going to be 3 heats to take you through in this one. So the swimmers in the first heat, mainly 15-year-olds, just a couple of 16-year-olds going in it. Times 9:50 up to 10:06, and they are all ready to go at the blocks, waiting patiently for the referee to call them to readiness. There's your lineup: Zara Innes of Carnegie, Ayla Cochrane, City of Glasgow, Georgia Dickey of Dumfries, Mia McLeod of Swimwich, saw that sprint from her earlier, Victoria Niven of City of Glasgow, Catherine Renfrew of Perth City, Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow, Eva Gordon of Stirling Swim, Safrina Machin at City of Glasgow, and Maria Howe, Aberdeen Performance. So something completely different here now. 16 lengths of the pool. Not seen any 800 so far. We're done with the 1500s.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Again, lots of different strategies can be done in the 800. And again, as we've talked about already this week, for many of these young girls, there's been very few opportunities to swim this race. So it'll be interesting to see who goes out hard, who holds back a little bit. We do have the bronze medal winner from the 1500 in this heat, Caris Mooney in lane 6, representing City of Glasgow. And she's gone out hard, 31.83 down the first 50. Catherine Renfrew next to in lane 5, the silver medalist from the 400 last night, Perth City swimmer in the red cap.
Yeah, the 800 is always an interesting one, isn't it? Because the 400 swimmers can swim up to it, and the 1500 swimmers can swim down to it, and they sort of meet in the middle. Do you treat it as a distance event, or do you treat it as an extended middle distance event?
Yeah, and for so many of our younger swimmers, as I say, they just won't swam it recently. They've not had the opportunity, certainly not in a long course pool as well. So, you know, it's a fantastic opportunity for them to go out there and they'll learn a lot. All of them will learn a lot from this race, and it looks like it is going to be a cracking race as well, judging by the 4 swimmers in the middle lanes that are side by side.
Yep, so 3 Mia McLeod, 4 Victoria Niven, 5 Catherine Renfrew, at 6 Caris Mooney. Looks like it's the Perth swimmer who's just edging it, Catherine.
Yeah, just looking at the next 2 heats, just 3 15-year-olds after this heat. So one of these swimmers, one of the 15-year-olds, hopefully to set enough time that maybe one of the 3 later girls won't beat and go onto the podium. So plenty to play for, and it looks like it's going to be a really good race.
Yep, so still the 3, and Mia McLeod just falling back a little bit now as we come up to 200 free, so quarter distance. And the cameraman showing them all coming in. Focus on the 2 in the centre lanes. Catherine by 1800s, 2:22.88. So
1:14.5 for that 100, 1:08 for the first 100. So see how it settles down. The key thing, I think, Duncan, will be which of the swimmers can swim this at an even pace. can really pace themselves through the race and hopefully leave a little bit for the last 100, last 150. It's nice that we've got a really good race. 3 swimmers neck and neck. Catherine Renfrew in lane 5, Victoria Niven in lane 4, Caris Mooney in lane 3. Just 0.15 between them.
Yeah, so they'll all be very aware of each other at this point, and a bit of a watching brief. Is anyone going to make a move? But of course, you've also got to swim your own race and swim to your pace, and you can be lulled into a full sense of security if you're. Maybe all 3 of them could find themselves either slowing down, which would be bad, or maybe going too fast because they're adrenaline of the 3-way contest. So they need to really focus their efforts, make sure that they swim to the plan. 3:37.58. So again, 1:14 and change. You can see they're the 37, so we're pretty consistent. Victoria Niven just edging it at the moment, but Catherine's right there with her. Caris still very much in touch, but the Mia McLeod has dropped back into the following pack now. You can see there's 4 of them there, all vying for 4th place, but about 4 or 5 metres away from our leading 3.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing to point out, Victoria is swimming in the 16-year-old age group, and that's giving both Catherine and Caris a good toe into this race as well. So it's great to have that company. And, you know, Victoria tried to set a fast time in her age group, and the other 2 swimmers, as I say, with only 3 more 15-year-olds to go, really working hard as well.
Certainly at the moment, it's Victoria Niven just with the upper hand, certainly of the 2 15-year-olds. She was silver in the West District pre-Snags meet. That was an improvement from a bronze in the West District short course age groups. So she has had some 800 freestyle experience recently, both short course and long course. 4:52.46, and still in the high 1:14s.
Yeah, the race really settling down into a pattern now. Victoria again just hung off the pace through the first 100, but she's just eased her way to the front. And to be fair to Catherine and Caris, they've gone with her, and there's very little between those 2 at this stage of the race.
Yeah, Catherine has also had the opportunity to swim this both short course and long course. Winner up in Aberdeen at the North District age groups, and 2nd in the Midland District Open Championships. Can't remember whether that was Montrose or Forfar. It was one of the 2. With Dundee being closed at the moment.
Yeah, there's one in Montrose and one in Forfar. Can't help you with which was which, I'm afraid.
So it is.
She's going well down this 50. I think this could be a great battle between her and Caris in the 15 age group, and Victoria working hard and possibly just easing away now, coming up to the 500 metre mark, just starting to ease away a little bit from Catherine.
So let's look at the intermediate splits there, and see whether that is Victoria picking it up or Catherine dropping back. And I think it's a bit of both probably. Victoria 37.11 is a pretty handy 50 split there.
Yeah, that was the 1:14 low for Victoria, so she has picked up the pace. But that's not a bad thing, I don't think, for Caris and Catherine, just to stick with them, stick with her and see what they've got left in the last 200 metres of the race.
So they start to worry a little bit for Caris now as to whether she can stay with these top 3. She has dropped back a bit. Catherine's still on the toes of Victoria, so that's where the race there. You can see Caris coming in just a little bit further back. Now the gap is 1.5 seconds or so between Victoria and Catherine, and then over 2 seconds between Catherine and Caris. So keep an eye on that. I think it looks like Catherine is staying very much in touch here.
Yeah, maybe she's not gone to her legs quite as much as Victoria at this stage as well, so maybe there's a little bit left in the tank, but looks like it's been a really good race.
Coming up to 600, so 3/4 of the way through at this turn. And we'll just have a look at the relative splits here. Has Victoria managed to hold on to that faster pace? So pretty much the same intermediate splits between the 2 of them. 7:21.14, so back to the mid 1:14s there. So that little burst from Victoria not really being sustained.
Yeah, 1 point second gap with 200 metres to go. So if Catherine wants to win this heat, she's She really needs to start making a move, but it's Victoria that possibly looks the strongest going up this 50.
Yeah, but as you said, there's more leg action going on from Victoria than there is from Catherine, so I certainly wouldn't be writing Catherine off at this stage.
No, 0.35 that split, so still Victoria knocking out the fastest splits. Interesting, Caris has picked up the pace as well a little bit, same time as Catherine up that 50.
Yeah, good for her, because it would have been easy to drift back down to the following group, but she is hanging in there. I don't think she's going to challenge in the final 100, but she's staying as close as she possibly can to Victoria and Catherine. So the bell turn.
And Victoria really looks like she's starting to just increase the pace a little bit. 8:35.52. So another 1:14.5. And she took about 0.4 off Catherine up that 100, off that 50. But Catherine sticking with it.
So now it definitely is time for Catherine to start to make inroads into this lead if she possibly can. It's also just a chance to look at the times versus their entry time, so 9:50 and 9:51. So I think Victoria should be inside that with a good fast final 50, and Catherine probably as well. She's 36.5, 36.7 there. Penultimate split, so 2.6 the gap. It's hard to see now that Catherine can get that one back down the final 50, so it's going to be a heat win, I think, for Victoria Niven. Next challenge then is to get under their entry times, 9:50 and 9:51 respectively. So the clock they're coming up to 9:40, and you see the red markers coming up shortly. Where are they? There we go, into the red zone. 9:47.18, so nice improvement of 3.5 seconds for Victoria. 9:49.87 for Catherine Renfrew, so she improves by about a second and a half. Caris Mooney taking third in 9:56.30.
Yeah, a well-judged race by Victoria Niven. Nice personal best. Judged it very well. The pacing in the middle part of the race was very consistent, and she was able to back it up with a strong last 100 as well. So I think she'll be very pleased with that. Good swim from Victoria.
So both Victoria and Catherine improving on their times, and that's the standard set by Catherine there, 9:49.87 for the 15-year-olds. As you said, 3 to come in the next heat. So, and are they both in this? Yes,
2 in this one and 1 in the last. Susie McNair goes in the last heat.
Thanks very much, John. Keep me straight. Tegan Black, the winner of the 1500, going in lane 6 in this one from the 15-year-olds. The other 15-year-old, Ola McInnes, who had a fine win yesterday. I think 200 fly from memory.
Yep.
Full lineup. Jessica Heaps of Full House in 0. Elise Kendall of Corby in 1. They both go in the 16 age group. Catherine Boddy in the 17-18s of Geary in 2. Anna Williamson of City of Glasgow. Cara Gordon of Stirling Swim. Rebecca Auger of South Lanarkshire. All of those 4 girls in the 17-18 age group. Then we've got the 15-year-old Tegan Black of East Lothian. Her teammate, India Marshall, goes in the 17-18s. Emma Creaney in the 16s for North Lanarkshire, and the second 15-year-old Ola McInnes in lane 9 for Heart of Midlothian. Tegan Black first to the wall in lane 6, off to a pretty fast start. In fact, the 2 East Lothian girls both going well. Tegan and India, and up at the top of your screen, Jessica Heaps, who's a good distance freestyler. She's been on the podium this week, so she'll be in the 16 age group. Just looking at the 16-year-olds, that will be decided in this heat. Well, no, it won't. Stella McCarty goes in the next heat, so certainly 2 medals from this heat. At 106.72 for Tegan.
Yeah, Tegan in great form, gold medal winner in the 15-year-old, as you said. Jessica won the bronze in the 1500 in her age group, so plenty of distance pedigree in this heat, and certainly looking at that first split, which is about 1.5 seconds faster than the previous heat. Tegan's not certainly hanging back. She's going to take this one out, and you'd expect to see a fast time in the 940s possibly.
Well, she'll be very aware that there is Susie McNair going in the next heat, so she'll want to post a strong time here. Try and give Susie something to worry about.
She's not got much company up front, which can be a good thing. Sometimes you just swim your own race if you're on your own. Some swimmers like it that way. Other swimmers like to have someone to race against, but Tegan's gone out fast, and with Jessica being on the far side of the pool at this minute, she's certainly going to take it out and swim her own race.
I guess you don't really get a choice, do you? You swim the strategy that won, and if somebody goes with you, that's fine. If somebody doesn't, you've still got to do what you were going to do anyway.
Yep, and I think at this age, young, still learning the event, Tegan's must have been, take a lot of confidence from the swim in the 1500 where she won the gold, and she's just going to go out and take this one out and just blast off and see if anyone can catch her.
So we talked about swimmers in the first heat had the opportunity to swim this short course and long course. Tegan hasn't had that opportunity. She's swimming short course in the East Lothian around a distance meet, but as far as I'm aware, she hasn't had the chance to swim at long course this season. It means probably she hasn't had the chance to swim at long course since before lockdown.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, for a lot of these young girls and boys this week, it's just a great opportunity to get back into a long course pool, and they're still learning this event, and there's different ways to swim it. Tegan will have benefited from the long course 1500 she swam. It'll be interesting to see what a split was in there at 800, but she's certainly going well in this heat this morning. Coming through in lane 4 now, Cara Gordon from Stirling to press Jessica for second, but 3:32.24. Comfortably passed fast in the first heat.
So around a 1:13 split, slightly slower than a second 100. That was about a 1:12.4, so it's dropped about half a second in that third 100, so we'll just keep an eye on that. She doesn't want to lose pace. Lane 4, Cara Gordon coming up as we see Tegan heading towards us. Now see whether the cameraman can avoid a big splash here. Oh, well done.
Yeah, Cara Gordon, as you can see on that split, about half a second faster than Tegan, so she is catching, and won't be surprised to see Cara move past Tegan at some point. Her entry time is faster, and she is 2 years older, so she's swimming in the 17-18 age group. Tegan swimming in the 15-year-old age group, and Jessica on the far side of the pool, who we shouldn't forget, is swimming in the 16 age group. So we've got to keep an eye on all three age groups, as it is a heat declared winner event.
And we mentioned that there's only one more 16-year-old to come as well, but it is Cara now who has moved into the lead, 4:46.28. So she clearly feels the need to inject a bit of pace into this. You can see 36.3, second faster for that split than Tegan was. Let's maybe just give a little bit of a wake-up call to Tegan to push it on.
Yeah, the other swimmer to keep an eye on is Rory Mckinnon in lane 9 in the 15-year-old category. She's got to beat Catherine Renfrew's time of 9:49.87 to guarantee a medal. At the minute, she's just outside that, so it's looking good for Catherine from the first heat to maybe get that bronze medal, or perhaps even a better colour. Tegan well ahead of that time at the minute, but this is a nice swim from Cara. Looks like she's paced it very well, and she's coming through strong and really looking to post a fast time in the 17-18 age group.
I can tell you that there is going to be a swim-off. Don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to be Amber Stevenson of South Ayrshire against Millie Milne of Warrender. That's in the girls 50 backstroke 17-18 age group. Amber Stevenson, the daughter of one of our venue commentators here, so there'll be a little bit of tension maybe up in the commentary positions.
So 5:57.71 for Cara. She's really picked up the pace. That was about a 1:11.5. So that was a very quick 100 from her, and she's starting to pull away now. And Jessica's moved into second place. Jessica Heaps from Fauldhouse in a 16-year-old age group. We've just got one more 16-year-old to come in the next heat, Stella McCarty. Although Stella did win the 1500. but Jessica at the minute looking good for a medal and trying to set a fast time for Stella to beat in the next heat. But at the minute, Cara Gordon leading the way. Tegan Black gone back ahead of Jessica on that 50. They're swimming quite a number of lengths apart, probably can't see each other, but a good battle for second. But up front, Cara Gordon, Sterling Swim, just starting to pull away, looking very strong in the second half of the race.
Yeah, she's really dominating this one. 7:09.29, so you can see 36:08 there. Half a second faster than Jessica's gone back into second. That's going back and forwards there.
Yeah, Rebecca Roger, South Lanarkshire swimmer, starting to come through in lane 5. I think she'll be going past Tegan soon. Very strong in the second half of the race, swam that well very in the butterfly yesterday, so she holds back and then comes through strongly, and she's really starting to quicken up now.
Yeah, so one of the issues, I think, also for particularly the younger swimmers, the likes of Tegan, is they wouldn't have swum a 5-day competition before. I think we talked about that a bit earlier, but you certainly are seeing some evidence of some tired swimmers now on day 4, and it's very much about pacing yourself, choosing the events you do, and then of the ones you do, choosing the ones that you're really going to push hard on. I'm sure that this one will be a targeted one for Tegan, and I'm sure she'll medal in it. The question is, what will the colour be?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Duncan. This time Cara comes up to the bell. Time 8:21.48. About a 1:12 for that 100. I think the key thing we've also got to remember is a lot of our younger swimmers were out of the pool for such a long period, and when they've come back, they've not been able to get the same pool time as before. So for many of them, it's been a really tough period. It's great to see them here. It's great to see so many personal bests, and I'm sure that there's still lots of improvement to come.
So coming up to the final turn then, this really has been all about Cara Gordon in the second half of this race, and she turns 8:56.69. Her entry time 9:33, so she'd need to come back in about, 37, so she's certainly going to do that. So she'll be inside her entry time and setting the standard for the 17, 18-year-olds that are coming in the next heat. Tegan having a strong finish here.
She certainly is. She's gone back ahead of Rebecca and Jessica in lane 0. So that's sign of tiredness, perhaps, in the sort of middle part of the race, but she's certainly battling.
49 in the first heat, so this certainly will be faster for Tegan. So she's guaranteed at least a silver medal there. Rebecca Ogier there, 9:40.30. Jessica Heaps, 9:41.97. That's faster than Victoria Niven was in the previous heat, so she's guaranteed at least a silver as well. Orla McInnes then, 9:49.36. That's just half a second faster than Catherine Renfrew, so Orla also guaranteed at least a bronze medal now.
Yeah, and look at that last 50, 33.95 from Orla. What a fantastic last 50.
That's probably what earned her that bronze medal, because she's only a few tenths faster than Catherine. So, yeah, well done to Orla. All about that final 50. Every little bit matters. But Cara Gordon there confirmed there, taking that heat, 9:31.35. So good swim from her, entered 9:33.68, so a couple of seconds taken off that. One more heat of this 800 freestyle to go. Looks to be a little discussion going on. Possibly, I don't know, is one of the swimmers who is getting ready to go, one of the Warrender swimmers, not happy about something, calling attention to the referee. But, well, it looks like we're back in business, and just about ready to start. We have a full field for this one, the third of the 3 heats.
So our final heat, lane 0, Stella McCarty, City of Glasgow. Lane 1, Susie McNair from first. Lane 2, Holly McGill, Heart of Midlothian. Lane 3, Mary Craig, Sterling Swim. Lane 4, Catherine Bailey, Perth City. Lane 5, Natasha Simpson, Warren de Baths. Lane 6, Olivia Mason, Warren de Baths. Lane 7, Isabel Wood, Sterling Swim. Lane 8, Holly Simpson, Aberdeen Performance. Lane 9, Yuri Horn, City of Glasgow.
So I guess, the main focus is going to be on the 17-18-year-old swimmers here in the centre lane, but we do need to keep an eye on what's going on in the far side with the 16-year-old Stella McCarty in 0 and the 15-year-old Susie McNair in 1. And Catherine Bailey, Natasha Simpson, Olivia Mason, a red cap trio, 1 from Perth, 2 from Warrender, leading the way.
Yeah, Catherine the gold medal in the 1500, where Natasha won the bronze. Catherine having a fantastic meet with 4 gold medals already, and already looking strong in this heat.
Yeah, 1:03.15 is about 3.5 seconds faster than the previous heat, so Catherine setting off a good pace there. See 32.8, Natasha 34.1, and Murray Craig with a good second length there, moving up into 3rd place in the white cap in lane 3. So going at the moment with the seedings 4, 5, 3, 6.
Yeah, Mary Craig won the silver in that 1500 as well, so we've got silver, gold and bronze from that race. 1st, 2nd and 3rd here. Olivia Mason in 6th, Warren de Baths in 4th place at the minute. And very early in the race you've got that arrowhead formation just coming down this 2nd 100.
Yeah, but this is looking very promising for Catherine. Already, 5 meters up at the quarter way through the race. Winner in Aberdeen at North District age groups went across to Northern Ireland to compete in the McCullough meet. She was 5th in open competition against some of the top swimmers from Britain and Ireland. That was a good performance.
Yeah, part of a large Scottish team that went over for that event. Some really strong performances.
Just keeping an eye on what's going on with Stella and Susie. They're both in the 220s, so at the moment a bit slower than the previous heat. Early days. And of course that in the end was won by the 17-year-old Cara Gordon.
Yeah, Catherine looking very strong and certainly taking this one out hard, looking for a good time, looking to duck under that 9:10 mark, I think. But she's certainly in the form of her life at the present.
Yeah, you don't want to call an 800 race at 300, but it's very hard to see that any of the others are going to get anywhere close to Catherine now. Pacing about 69.
109 for that 100, so very impressive split, and just pulling further and further away as the race gets deeper.
So I guess the race is about the silver medal here, and that's Murray Craig in the white against Natasha Simpson in the red, Sterling and Warrender. And as you said, John, it was Murray that edged it in the 1500. Can Natasha get revenge here? Looks like it's still just Natasha. Well, look at their respective splits. You can see only, less than 3/10 between them, 35.0 and 35.6 on those splits. Still in camera shot, we might get to the point where Catherine's so far ahead that we struggle to keep the top 3 in view all the time, but not yet.
Yeah, we'll try and give you an update at the half stage how the 15 and 16-year-old event is going on, but as you say, it's hard to do that because it involves swimmers in lanes 0 and 1 at the minute, but 4:29.74. Very good first 400 for Catherine.
So very steady on the 110s. So this is a good pace that she's setting here. So entry time 9:10. If she could keep this going, she could get inside that, I would have thought.
Yeah, she certainly set out to do that. Duncan, I don't think there's any doubt about that this morning. It's a very aggressive swim, and why not? She's in great form, and there's no port hanging around. Go for it, and if she fades, but it doesn't look like she's going to fade at this stage.
Yeah, it's perfect, just able to produce some absolutely phenomenal distance freestylers. I mean, we think of Stephen Milne, of course, the Olympian and Commonwealth Games athlete. Camilla Hattersley, an Olympian, learnt her craft in Perth. Jack Munsey was a very strong Perth swimmer and now moved to Stirling. So Anne Dixon knows how to produce them, doesn't she?
She certainly does. Scott McClay started out as a 1500 swimmer.
He changed a bit.
He certainly did when he realised, he chased a sprinting, but he started out and doing that as well. But yeah,
did he decide it was too much like hard work?
I think it might have been for Scott, but yeah, she certainly trains them hard, and the fruits are coming through. And Catherine's been knocking on the doors of this for a long time, and it's great to see her really fulfilling the potential this year. And she's been one of the standout swimmers this week, without a doubt.
Looking at the 500 splits, Stella and Susie, and there's sort of 605, 606s, and that is slower than the second heat, so they're going to have to pick them aim up. You can see they're right together. You can just see them going to the left on our screen as the others go right, side by side. That might help them to pick up the pace. They'll both know that they need to do that. I'm sure their coaches will be signalling that to them, First and City of Glasgow respectively, but we'll try and keep you posted on that one. But still Catherine Bailey on her merry way, 6:50.55, slightly slower on that one.
Yeah, the race on for second. Natasha and Mary going head for head. Natasha still just slightly ahead of Mary, and then in the 15-16 in the 15-year event, Tegan Black from East Lothian, 9:39.42 her time. She'll be watching how Susie McNair goes on in this heat, and in the 16-year-old age group, Jessica Heaps, 9:41.97. She'll be watching how Stella McCarty goes. And as you said, Duncan, at the minute they're looking a little bit behind where they need to be, but they've still got time to pick it up.
So in this race for second then, so Natasha just ahead of Mari, and would you be trying to just grind it out, or would you relying on sprint speed down the final 50 to try and sort it out? I guess it depends on where you think your strength lies. If you think you've got that sprint finish in you, then you'll be trying to sort of hold back maybe and rely on that last 50. But if you don't think you've got it, you've got to grind it out now and try and take the sprint out of the equation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see which way they both breathe into each other. So they'll see each other. They'll know they're on the last 100. They've both gone to their legs now with 100 metres to go. So they're putting it all in. They may be just closing down slightly on Catherine. Just slightly, ever so much. And it's a great race for second, but it looks like the goal's going to go to Perth City's Catherine Bailey. And the two swimmers in lanes 0 and 1, Stella McCarty and Susie McNair, 100 metres to go to really pull it back in their own individual age group event.
So Catherine then, a 33.6 on her penultimate length. Expect that to be quite a bit faster down the stretch here. So she's picked up the pace. It looks like Natasha, she went out hard from 100 to go, and that's standing her in good stead. So she's looking set now for the silver medal ahead of Mari Craig, who's desperately trying to bring it back. There, as we see the focus on second and third, but at the front, never any doubt right from the off. 9:07.97, 2 seconds inside her entry time. Nicely done, Catherine Bailey. Natasha Simpson does take second. Mari was pushing hard down that last length, but I think Natasha perhaps is the one thought she maybe didn't have that sprint, so took it out from further out, and that earned her the silver medal, 9:11.54. Now we can see those two coming in up the top of your screen. So it's going to be Stella McCarty. She needs to get inside 9:41.
She has just.
She has. Susie McNair, 9:41.28. That's a silver for Susie. So Tegan Black's 9:39 from that That was from the
Previous heat.
second heat.
Yeah, previous heat.
She takes her second freestyle distance gold, so happy days for the East Lothian team there. But hats off to Catherine Bailey. For me, I think that was the swim of the morning. 9:07.97, highest order distance freestyle swimming, and herself, what did you say, 4 golds so far, was it, or 5
Four so far.
So far.
So I think that's 5, which is an incredibly impressive hole for her, and a very aggressive swim. Went out fast and held on, and you know, you could tell she was getting tired the last 100, but she stuck at it, and I'm pretty sure that's a nice personal best for her, and well inside 9:10, which is something I know she's been aiming for some time, and to get under 9:08 is a fantastic swim.
Yep, so we've got that swim off coming up now. So this is in the 50 backstroke. So this is going to be a good one, I think. It's in the 17-18 age group, and it's for the final place in that final. They both did 32.46 in the heats. So let's see what they're going to do. So just to remind you of the swimmers there in the blue cap and lane 4, South Ashes, Amber Stevenson, and in the red, Warrender's Millie Mill. So 4 and 5 respectively. Both 17 years old. And they'll be gunning for another swim tonight. Just being held up because we have to move some officials around the pool so that we can get the finish at the far end. Hopefully we'll get it cleanly, because we had some problems earlier on with finish touches down at that end, but let's hope that's not going to happen here. Last thing we need is a tight finish and then no time coming up. So here we go.
Amber in the blue hat, Millie in the red hat. Millie with a better start, already half a body length ahead. Warren de Bath swimmer, Amber's fighting back, it's going to be close.
Amber is really revving very fast here, and she's got herself back right up in contention. This one is going to go all the way, you think, underneath the flags. Maybe just, well, I don't know, it's going to be whoever gets the wall, hand on the wall. And it was Millie Mill, 31.47. Amber, 31.68. And it's always the case, if they'd done that earlier, they'd both be in the final. See that so many times, but Millie Mill, well done to her. Confirmation for you. She'll take up 10th spot in the final. Amber Stevenson first reserve. You never know, there might be a withdrawal. We might get to see Amber again, but both of them a long way inside their times from the heat, so they could take that forward. They know that's what they're capable of. So well done, ladies. Relay time.
Yeah, we're going to kick off with about 4:08. The boys 17 and over, 4x100 metre freestyle relay. So see lots of splashing and dashing through the pool. We've just got one heat in this. Lane 0, North Lanarkshire, led off by Cameron Creaney. Lane 1, City of Glasgow B, Archie Dixon. Lane 2, Perth City, led off by Jonathan Venter. Lane 3, Warren de Bass, led off by Brodie Gordon-Gibson. Lane 4, City of Glasgow A, led off by Mark Ford. Lane 5, University of Aberdeen Performance, led off by Lewis Burrell. Lane 6, South Ayrshire Swim Team, led off by Ross Errants. 7, Aberdeen Dolphins, led off by Tom Robertson. Lane 8, Warren de Baths, led off by Ewan Beatty. No swimmer in lane 9. So whilst it says with Stirling Swim, we don't have a team from there. So we've just got 8 lanes. Sorry, just got 9 lanes here with a 0. Fastest entry time, City of Glasgow 8, 3:35.25. They go in lane 4.
Yeah, hard to see past that team. Looks pretty impressive, doesn't it? Ford, Bertoli, Elric and McKinnon. But we'll see whether any other teams can challenge them. So off we go. Warrender led by Brodie Gordon-Gibson in 3, and University of Aberdeen with Lewis Birrell in 5, but straight away Mark Ford putting City of Glasgow into the lead in the familiar blue caps. So up by best part of a body length. maybe it's Aberdeen Performance in second. Certainly Lewis Birrell is working hard there, try and stay in touch with City of Glasgow. Warrender in third, and South Ayrshire in lane 6 in fourth, with Ross Errants running this one, maybe just ahead of them now. In lane 7 is Aberdeen Dolphin with Tom Robertson, saw a great swim from him earlier. Aberdeen Performance sticking with City of Glasgow here. Can they muster a shock?
Well, we'll see. Mark Ford did some great relay swims this week for Glasgow. He hands over in the lead to Andrew Bertoli. Aberdeen Performance, Conor Massey going for them. Third place Aberdeen Dolphins, Finlay Club going for them, ahead of Warren de Baths. Alex Thompson going for them. North Lanarkshire in 0, Cameron Duran. Yusuf Batu going for Glasgow being 1. John McKay for Perth in 2. Callum Dunn going for South Ayrshire in 6. Callum Rose for Warrender in 8. But up front, Glasgow now starting to pull away a little bit. Andrew Bertoli, we've seen plenty of Andrew this week. He's now starting to pull away from Conor Massey, University of Aberdeen in second. 3 for third place just in lane 3. Alex Thompson and Warren de Baths ahead of Finlay Club and Aberdeen Dolphin in 7. But Glasgow really starting to pull away now. Andrew Bertley very strong down this second 50. He's going to hand over to Mark Elric.
So no split coming up there for City of Glasgow, but no doubt Andrew Bertoli put in a very solid second leg there for them, and they're now up by, what, 4 or 5 metres, maybe more. Taking it on now on the third leg, Mark Elric for them, Matthew Brown for Aberdeen Performance. They've got quite a lot in hand over local rivals Aberdeen Dolphin, with Kieran Brackenser going in for them. They've now moved ahead of Warrender into bronze medal position. Adam Ritchie going for Warrender to try and bring that one back, and also in the hunt with them is South Ayrshire with Dylan Cashmore, but City of Glasgow and Aberdeen Performance in the clear 1-2 positions here, and Dolphin in third as we go towards the anchor leg swimmers, and it'll be McKinnon looking to bring it back and do the job for City of Glasgow.
John Taylor taking over for Aberdeen Performance in second place. Good swim for the Dolphins swimmer there. Andrew Brodie going for them in third place. Warrender swimmer Finn Bremner in fourth. But up front, this is all about City of Glasgow A. Rory Mckinnon looking very strong. Second place, lane 5. John Taylor going for Aberdeen Performance A. In third place, still Aberdeen Dolphins. Andrew Brodie, so a good swim by them, ahead of Warren de Baths, Finn Bremner in fourth. But look at that split, 23.95 for Rory Mckinnon. And he's just cruising down this last leg, and this is all about City of Glasgow A. Mark Ford, Andrew Bertoli, Mark Elric and Rory Mckinnon. They're going to win this relay comfortably. A race for second. Aberdeen Dolphins, Andrew Brodie working hard against John Taylor, coming through in lane 6. South Ayrshire's Lewis Hammond. But first place City of Glasgow. Second place is going to go to University of Aberdeen. And third place will go to Warren de Baths. A good swim in the last leg by Finn Bremner for them. City of Glasgow first, Aberdeen Performance second, Warren de Baths third.
Of course, the thing about these races is that they also work as qualifiers for the relay positions in the British Summer Championships that take place in the summer. So that time of 3:32.99 will be compared with times achieved across Britain during the qualification window, and the fastest, however many, will be invited to compete at Sheffield in the summer, and I'm sure that will get City of Glasgow into those ranks. Very nice swim, faster than their entry time. Aberdeen Performance, I'm sure, will hope to be there as well. But now to the 14-16-year-olds, and we've got 3 heats to go in this one. Line up for the first of them, Highland in 0, North Ayrshire, or South Ayrshire rather, in 1, City of Glasgow C team in 2, Inverclyde in 3, Carnegie in 4, North Ayrshire in 5, Cooper in 6, East Lothian B team in 7, First B team in 8, and Scotia in lane 9. And it's lane 5, I think, North Ayrshire's Adam Curry just edging it as we come up to the first turn. On his right-hand side, Jaden Chan for Carnegie, but closer to him is Cooper's Richard Law. So North Ayrshire and Cooper leading 2. at the first turn. Third, I think, is lane 7 now, East Lothian B with Ethan Mulligan. No, it's not, it's lane 9, Scotia, with Jack Doherty Simpson. So they're going well down at the bottom of your screen, but still in the lead, North Ayrshire. So good opening leg from Adam Curry to hand to Stuart Reid.
So great lead off by North Ayrshire. Cooper in second place. Good swim by Richard Laws. Hands over to Liam Black. Third place for Scotia. Caden McLaughlin going for them now. In fourth place in lane 4 is Carnegie. Ollie Weaver's going for them, but still very close. Also going well in lane 2, City Glasgow C. Callum McLaughlin handed over to Michael Winship, but up front it's all changed. It's the Glasgow C team starting to come through in lane 2. At this turn, also going well in the middle lane. But right down here on Scotia, Caden McLaughlin leading the way. Second place for City of Glasgow C in lane number 2. Third place for Carnegie in lane 4. A very close race. Scotia, Caden McLaughlin now starting to pull away slightly. Coming through in lane 4, Carnegie, Ollie Weavers. Also going well, Michael Winship for City of Glasgow C, but it's this end lane, Scotia leading the way, and Caden McLaughlin's going to hand over to Keir Sampson.
Yeah, cracking swim there from Caden. Can Scotia pull a surprise from lane 9, 2:01.08? They're giving themselves every chance. Lead by about 2¼ seconds going into the third leg. As you said, John, it is Keir Sampson with the job of keeping that lead. You can see the Scotia team giving all the support there on the side, starting to make their moves. On the other side of the pool in lane 2, it is City Glasgow C team with Tom Ingalls, and in lane 4, Carnegie with Calder Murphy. City of Glasgow, in fact, absolutely level with Scotia there at that turn, both on 2:31 dead. Let's see as they come through. It does look like City of Glasgow maybe just has the edge now, but not by very much at all. Carnegie in third, just ahead of Cooper in lane 6 with Stephen Laws on the third leg. Two members of the Laws family in this team. So 3:02.71, City of Glasgow now with a 2.5 advantage over Scotia.
Finlay Sang last leg for City of Glasgow. Mark Watshorn going for Scotia. Lewis Muir going for Carnegie in 4. Ewan Gray going for Cooper in 6. But up front, City of Glasgow C now starting to streak clear. Finlay Sang looks like it's going to be very impressive down that first 50, and he's built up a big lead. 27.04 for the split, much faster than any of the other boys behind. Scotia in second place still, bit of Carnegie in third, Cooper in fourth. But a blistering first 50 by Finlay Sang, and he's going to bring this City of Glasgow C team home. Still looking good on this near side for second. Scotia, Mark Watshorn going well for them. Also coming back Inver Clyde, Lewis Gray in lane 3. It's going to be very close. Cooper in lane 6, Ewan Gray. No doubt the winner, City of Glasgow C, Finlay Sang, but who's going to get second? Possibly just Inver Clyde, I think, and Lewis Gray. City of Glasgow C winner. Second place for Inver Clyde, third place for Carnegie, fourth place for Scotia. A blistering last 100 by Finlay Sang. The City of Glasgow C team, Callum McLaughlin, Michael Winship, Tom Ingalls and Finlay Sang take heat number 1.
Shows the depth of the City of Glasgow there with their C team as strong as that. Only just over the 4 minutes for the freestyle relay there. We've got the line up there for heat number 2, or yes, we will have soon. Unfortunately, there's a disqualification there. You can see the first team were disqualified. Now you've got the line up for heat number 2. All 10 lanes in use. West Lothian, Dundee City Aquatics, North Lanarkshire, City of Glasgow B team, Stirling Swimming, University of Aberdeen B team, South Aberdeenshire, Mulgai and Bearsden, Kinross Otters and Oren 96. So entry times, not sure how much entry times mean in these relays, but 3:58s from Stirling and Aberdeen Performance B. Leading off for them is Ben Montgomery for Stirling, Cameron Hastings for Aberdeen Performance B. Strong start right up at the top from West Lothian's Callum Sinclair. So he is really opening up well for the West Lothian team. See if any of them can haul him back. It's only going to be first to the 50 turn, 27.52 from Stirling second, Aberdeen Performance third, Kinross in fourth, just 100th ahead of Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 8 is Kinross, that's Hayden Mackenzie for them, and they're going well. Lane 4, Stirling with Ben Montgomery, but still I think it's Callum Sinclair up at the top of your screen, leading it for West Lothian, leading it by a fair margin as well, around 2.5 metres up, 57.50.
Great strength from Callum, handing over to Cal Muirhead. Second place for Stirling in lane 4. Cole Morrison going for them. Third place for Kinross Otters in lane 8. Duncan Crichton going for them. Middle lane starting to come through though. Stirling in 4, Aberdeen Performance B, Jack Mitchell in 5 for them. But still at the top, it's Swindon West Lothian. Kyle Muirhead with the 2 middle lanes in lane 4. Cole Morrison going for Stirling and Jack Mitchell going for Aberdeen in 5, starting to come through. But still it's the Swindon West Lothian leading the way. Also coming through in City and Glasgow B in lane 3, David Landman. And the relay really starting to close up now. Still in lane 0, Kyle Muirhead, Swindon West Lothian. In lane 4, Stirling, Cole Morrison. And these two have a little bit of gap. Coming through in lane 1 is Ewan Weir, Dundee City Aquatic swimmer. In lane 5, Jack Mitchell for University of Aberdeen Performance. But up top it looks like it's just going to be Stirling Swim, lead from Swim West Lothian with 200 to go.
So nothing in it at all at the halfway mark. They're about 3 seconds faster than the previous heat at the halfway point. West Lothian now have Ben Sheriff in the water. Stirling have Lewis Husson. Coming up very strongly now, Dundee City Aquatics, Kane Buchanan on the third leg for them, and he's certainly making a big move, it looks like, for Dundee. Is he going to have the lead at the 250? It's close. No, it's Stirling by 2/10 from Dundee. West Lothian now back in third. Aberdeen Performance very much still in the mix. Calvin MacDonald on the third leg for them in lane 5. As now West Lothian maybe just starting to struggle, and it does look like it's Dundee with Kane Buchanan putting in a really good shift there on the third leg for them. So they had Connor Brearley, Ewan Weir. They're going to be handing over to Corey Phillip to get the job done.
So Dundee City Aquatics in lane 1 lead the way. Aberdeen Performance in 5 second. Dan Hall going for them. Stirling next in lane 4. Logan van der Meulen, head of City Glasgow B team, Kai Connolly. And at the minute it's still Dundee City Aquatics A. Corey Phillip leading the way. Fighting hard in lane 4. Logan van der Meulen for Stirling. Going well in lane 5. Dan Hall. Looks like it's between these 3 lanes. Lane 4 starting to come back. Logan van der Meulen ahead of, in lane 5, University of Aberdeen. But as a turn, it's still Dundee City Aquatics in the lead. But Stirling hunting them down. A great first 50 from Logan van der Meulen. He's starting to go into the lead. Corey Phillip for Dundee City Aquatics in 1. Logan van der Meulen for Stirling in 4. Between these two swimmers, third place in lane 5 for Aberdeen Performance. But who's going to get the win? It looks like it could well be Stirling Swim. A great last leg by Logan van der Meulen. He's going to take the touch just ahead of Corey Phillip. A great split, 30.57 down the last 50 for Logan. And Stirling Swim Tech first place, 3:55.65. Second place for Dundee City Aquatics. Third place for Aberdeen Performance.
Oh, good tight contest there. Dundee City Aquatics going into that last leg with a pretty healthy advantage, but just couldn't quite hold off a storming Logan van der Meulen there for Stirling Swimming. So 3:55.65 is the target time for the final heat. And this is going to be fast, I think. Watch out for East Lothian. They broke the junior club record in the 4x200. So they'll, I'm sure, have their eye on something similar here. And can one of the other teams match them, I wonder?
So lane 0, Warren de Bath B. Lane 1, Aberdeen Dolphins. Lane 2, University of Aberdeen Performance A. Lane 3, City of Glasgow A. Lane 4, East Lothian A. Lane 5, Warren de Bath A. Lane 6, South Lanarkshire A. Lane 7, Perth City. Lane 8, First. And Lane 9, Geary. Leading off 4 under B, Robbie Boyd. Dan Fern goes for 1, watch him, in for Aberdeen Dolphins. Greg Hall in 2 for University of Aberdeen. Jake Holmes in 3 for City of Glasgow. Luke Cornsey for a very strong East Lothian team in 4. Cedar Gullen for Warrender in 5. Lewis Moyer in 6. Kinsey McLean in 7. Alex Black in 8. James Body in 9 for Geary. So, a good start in lane 4 by the East Lothian swimmer. Also going well up in lane 1, Aberdeen Dolphins, Dean Fern. But as they come up to the first 50, it's going to be Luke Cornsey going to touch first. Ahead of, in second place for Warrender, Cedar Gullen. In third place for Aberdeen Dolphins, Dean Fern. In fourth place, City of Glasgow, Jake Holmes. For East Lothian, a looking very strong team, broke the record in the 4x2. Luke Cornsey leading this one off. And already a full body length plus ahead of in second place Warren de Bass. Going well over there in lane 1 for Aberdeen Dolphins in Dean Fern. As they come up to the first turn, it's looking very good for a very powerful East Lothian team.
Yeah, nice opening 100 from Luke Hornsey there, 54.21. Of course, off the back of the 400 IM earlier from him. He hands over to Zach Slater for the second leg. Warrender in second place in lane 5. James Burnett going for them in lane 3. City of Glasgow with Adam Scott. Then we've got two teams very close together in lanes 1 and 2. Aberdeen Dolphin with Callum Gould and Aberdeen Performance with Kieran Lennox. So a local rivalry going on there. And in lane 6 up with them, South Lanarkshire's Thomas Traynor. But still, it is very much East Lothian running the show here. Zach Slater, the youngest of the East Lothian quartet, is putting in a good effort here, holding the advantage, in fact building it, I think. So he's done his job. 1:49.15 going to leg 3.
Zach hands over to Callum Peebles with a nice lead. Warren de Bass in second place, Connor Mitchell going for them. Glasgow in third place, Marcus Blake going for them. But up front, this is all about East Lothian. Callum Peebles pulling away, if anything, from the rest of the field. Going to be close for second. Swims in lane 3. Marcus Blake for City of Glasgow. Connor Mitchell for Warrender in 5 at a 24.58 for Callum Peebles up that first 50. 2.5 seconds faster than any other swimmer. So East Lothian with a real crack squad here, looking incredibly impressive. Second place at the minute, Warren de Bass. Connor Mitchell going for them. Third place, City of Glasgow. Marcus Blake in there, coming through on this side of the pool for South Lanarkshire, Jack Simpson. And he might be pressing for second place, but there's no doubt as they hand over, this is East Lothian's race.
2:42.40 then, cracking split from Callum Peebles, and it's that man Stefan Kravitz who is tasked with bringing them back. Now I can tell you that the Scottish Junior Club record 3:40.88 and the Scottish Junior record 3:38.83, and it's looking pretty good for both of those, I think, to go here. 3:06.45, you can see a 24.0 for Stefan in his first 50. Of course, that had the benefit of the dive, so what is he going to bring this back in? This is all about East Lothian now and the record books. Here he comes towards our camera into the final 5, then the clock in the 3:30s, and it is East Lothian, and they smash the Scottish Junior record. Whoa, 4 seconds faster than we've seen before for about a 16 or under team. Warren de Bass taking second, 3:45.91, and South Lanarkshire in third, 3:46.50. Both of those times faster than we saw in the previous heat, so they'll be silver and bronze. But what about that quartet from East Lothian, John?
Absolutely superb, Duncan. No weaknesses to be seen at all. Led off beautifully by Luke Hornsey. Young's lats later on the second leg, just increasing the lead, and then excellent last 2 anchor legs by Callum Peebles, and of course Stefan Kravitz on the last.
So very nicely down there, 3:34.12, so that will stand now as the new Scottish Junior record, assuming it's ratified, and I don't see why it wouldn't be. So confirming there, Warren the second and South Lanarkshire in third, so we'll see them in... I can tell you a bit of news that there has been a protest put in relating to event 406. That was the boys 400 individual medley. That's not one of our heat declared winner event, so that will affect possibly which swimmers go through to the final. So I've no information about what the protest is about, presumably a disqualification that's being contested, but just to let you know that there is a protest going on in event 406. Doesn't affect our medal presentations, which is coming up next. Well, talked about swims of the day, and I had said that Catherine's 800 freestyle was my swim of the day, but I think I have to concede that now to that very last swim, East Lothian swim team there.
Rightly so, Duncan. You know, to smash the record by as much as that, truly outstanding performance, worth waiting for this morning. And as I said before, 4 great individual swims, but more importantly, a fantastic team swim.
Yeah, so many congratulations to the East Lothian quartet, and of course their coaches who have got them to where they are, and they can be pretty happy with that. Of course, they can't really relax too much because, of course, they're going to have finals, all of them, I think, probably tonight, and focusing on their individual swims. But you can see here come the girls for our presentations for the 800 meters freestyle.
Yeah, they've had a bit of a chance to have a rest after those tough races, and they're not dashing out to get the medals like it sometimes happens, so that's nice to see. They've all come out together. First bronze medal will go in the 15-year-old age group to Rory Mckinnon, Heart of Midlothian swimmer. In the 16-year-old age group, that will go to Victoria Nivens, City of Glasgow. And in the 17-18 age group, it will be Mary Craig from Stirling Swim. Silvers in the 15-year-old age group to first Susie McNair. Foldhouse's Jessica Heap steps up in the 16-year-old age group. And from Warren de Baths, it will be Natasha Simpson in our 17-18 age group. And in the 15-year-old age group and Scottish age group champion, East Lothian's Tegan Black doubles up in the 800-1500. 16-year-old age group, again doubling up, City Glasgow, Stella McCarty. And in the 17 age group, again doubling up, 800-1500, but a 5th gold medal of the week, Catherine Bailey from Perth City.
Making those presentations, Paul Finnegan from the staff here at Tollcross International Swim Centre, and it gives us a chance to just say thank you to all of the staff here at Tollcross. They do a great job for us looking after this superb venue, and we're very grateful for all the support and the friendly way that they do it when we come to visit. So big thanks to Glasgow Life for that. So one more presentation to go, and that, well, 2 more presentations to go, the 2 relays. I imagine they'll come up separately because there's an awful lot of them. So we'll be starting, I think, with the 17 and overs. And here they come. It looks like it's David Haig, head coach at Dundee City Aquatics and a member of the National Swim Committee, is representing the Midland District, and he will present the bronze medal to the team from Warren de Baths. That team: Brodie Gordon Gibson, Alex Thompson, Adam Ritchie and Finn Bremner. Silver medal there in the white. University of Aberdeen performance team. And the quartet here: Lewis Birrell, Connor Massey, Matthew Brown, and John Taylor. Somebody didn't get the memo. It's white tops for the presentation. And blue tops if you want gold. City of Glasgow. City of Glasgow team. Oh, yeah. Forgot I had to get a medal. Mark Ford, Andrew Bertoli, Mark Elric, and Rory Mckinnon. .332.99, the winning time there for City of Glasgow. Thumbs up performance all round. So one more ceremonial after this. Recognise that superb performance in the 14 to 16 age group. And then we'll be done. It's been a fun session, John.
It certainly has. There's been some fantastic swimming, Duncan, and let's hope everyone watching tunes back in this afternoon and then this evening for the finals as well. I think the finals tonight will be something special. There'll be some cracking head-to-heads. But here we are, 14-16 freestyle relay. Now, who's making his presentation?
Nobody, it looks like, at the moment.
Who's on the list, Duncan, to do it? Oh, Ian's doing it, look. Our new head coach, new national coach has stepped forward.
Well
He's
done,
in the right
Ian.
place at the right time. Well done, Ian Wright. Bronze medalist from South Lanarkshire. Lewis Moyer, Thomas Traynor, Jack Simpson and Scott Fleming. Recently appointed will be our new national head coach, Ian Wright. Currently head coach at City of Glasgow, who takes over the job in August.
Yeah, we wish him well with that. Exciting time to be involved at the top of Scottish swimming. With the Commonwealths will be done by then, but we've got Paris coming up in 2 years' time.
Yeah, plenty to look forward to. Warren DeBass getting the silver, should I say. Cedar Gullen, James Burnett, Connor Mitchell and Ben Kelly. And our new national club record holders and national junior record holders. Very impressive East Lothian team of Luke Hornsey, Zach Slater, Callum Peebles and Stefan Kravitz. And they'd certainly given that senior Glasgow team a run for the money, Duncan, wouldn't they?
Yeah, the Glasgow team was slightly faster,
They
but
were.
not much.
Not much at all, and then head to head, who would have known? But fantastic performance, a great way to end the morning.
And just the emphatic way that they broke that record, you know, they didn't just break it, they absolutely smashed it. And of course, that's not just an individual club that set that record, that would be the combined team of more than one club. So that wraps things up for us. You can see there, session 11. Coverage will begin at 1:35. We'll start swimming shortly after that, so we look forward to seeing you there. But for now, from myself, Duncan McKinnell, from my co-commentator, John Munsey, we'll wish you a very good morning.
Good morning, goodbye.